Bastards.
From now on, no playing video games while we do the podcast.
The hell am I supposed to do?
Playing video games. Talk.
Okay.
You lose concentration. You never finish your thoughts.
I do that no matter what.
You have Alzheimer's?
Yes.
No, you don't. My dad's in his room right now. He don't even know who the fuck I am. So I know that you can do better. Damn, fucking chips were hot. Alright, that is What the fuck? 1, 2. Motherfucker, man. Never have nothing nice.
Sorry.
Better be sorry. Nobody's gonna show up today because of you.
Oh, fine. I don't give a shit. I'll go too.
So we're only gonna be talking to each other, and that's it. Are you on YouTube or no? Oh, what's up, Brett? How you doing, man? Is it RPG sounding cranky? No, that's not RPG. That's Nelson. I've been attacking him since we got on the voice thing, so he's a little sensitive right now. I think he has a cold too. That's what he said on the thing. So it could be a combination of the two, of him being a pussy because of the cold, and because of him being a pussy because I'm being an asshole to him. So it could be both. What's up, RPG? Hey, I'm not being the whiny one. That's Nelson. I guess it'll just be Nelson. What you say? I guess it'll just be you talking. I'll leave too. Oh shit. Yeah, Nelson's been very cranky so far.
Yeah, my kids got me about to snap all fucking day.
I'm gonna snap on your kids. Them little shits. Fucking. You know what he told me last? He's like, when he said, "Hey, can we play today?" I was like, "No, dude, I'm not at home." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Dude, I'm an adult. I got stuff to do. You know, I can't just stay home and play games all day." And I was like, "You're lucky you have a brother who likes playing games too. You should play with him." He's like, "Great, genius." You what? Bro, I was laughing my ass off so hard. Oh God. Nelson?
Marcus knocked out one of Luke's freaking tooths this week.
Was it a baby teeth or an adult one?
Yeah, it wasn't loose either.
It was a baby one or adult?
Baby, thank God.
Oh God. What he hit him with?
Something for an animal. One of those fucking things that go around your neck.
God, them fucking kids, man. Like, they don't understand that they lose their teeth. That's it. It ain't growing back. But, well, guys, how y'all doing, man? Well, I think they left us. Oh, whatever. RPG or Iron Man don't even watch our shit anyways. Oh, he's good. He's playing. Brett, game is ass. Monster Hunter is ass. I'm lucky that I spent Nelson's money and not my own. Otherwise, I'd be pissed. Well, not that pissed. I mean, the game.
I thought Brett was getting a PS5 this week or something.
Well, he decided to get a tattoo instead, so fuck the PS5. He wants more ink.
I was gonna say if he bought a PS5, why did he buy the Series S? You see that of a Series S? Holy fucking dog shit!
Brett says it runs good on the Series S.
Yeah, 30 frames and fucking 240 fucking resolution. Jesus Christ!
I don't make a big deal about frames. I've been playing 30 frames for the last 15 years. PS4.
It doesn't even hold 30. It goes down to like 25.
Yeah, I think RPG is the bougie one with the frames. He won't touch anything that's under 150. Brett, I don't know. I think he just plays whatever. But I mean, the game looks really good. The designs and all that is like really good. The music's really good. Like I really like all that. But I just the combat is stiff. It's I don't want to say clunky. I guess it's clunky. But I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like it's too. Like they did too much. Like why can't you just do fucking R3 with R3 as a Neo, or not Neo? What do you call that when you like get down and trying to sneak around?
Stealth.
Stealth. I don't know. When you Neo, why didn't they just do R3 with that instead of fucking like X? So you're taking away a button there. So you push triangle to take your weapon out, and your main attack is basically R2, I think it is, or triangle itself. I don't remember. It's like one of those two buttons. And then once you push those buttons, then other options open up, and it's like you have the whole controller to fuck around with, but instead you're trying to manage crouch. Thank you, RPG. Instead, you're trying to manage your fucking like inventory and potions and shit like that. So it's like, just make a fucking wheel, bro. You know what I mean? Which they do have one, but each button has got a different wheel, and it's like, come on, is this a fucking strategy game or a fucking melee? I don't know.
I'll be honest, I was always worried about it because that fucking RE engine, it works great for everything, but when you have an engine that's designed for mostly Resident Evil and you make an open world out of it, there's a reason why engines that are used for a lot aren't used for open world. They're all like proprietary, with the exception of Days Gone.
Yeah, I played about an hour and a half, and I mean, everything seemed fine. I didn't notice any.
And The Witcher 4 when it comes out.
I didn't notice any issues. But what I will say in regards to that, and yeah, Nelson's correct. Usually you see some of these issues, but I say if you're a good fucking developer, you make it happen with whatever tools you fucking got. I mean, I was playing fucking Aztec. What was it called? Aztec Forgotten Gods. And you can tell it's a budget game, but them dudes fucking made it fucking happen. I don't know. I just think, especially with AI now, these fucking assholes are using it. We'll get into some of that stuff later. Let me just introduce or welcome all you guys in. What's up, Brett? What's up, RPG? Thank you guys for being here. And for those of you guys out there that aren't in the chat, that are listening to the podcast, thank you for being here. Today is the State of Gaming podcast. It's been a little slow on the news side of things, but with gaming and how busy gaming has started to pick up towards the latter end of February, we are going to have a lot of things to talk about gaming related. Not so much in regards to news and stuff like that. We do have a couple topics in there. We're gonna have Fable in there. We're gonna have Forza in there. But I think tonight's podcast is gonna be more about the games that are currently out, the games that are upcoming, especially in the last 3 months. I put out a video earlier today talking about games between February and May. And so we'll be talking a lot about that here as well. By the way, for those of you guys watching or listening to the stream, specifically RPG, Nelson, and Brett, you should go watch that video because I bring you guys up as well. That's how much I know what you guys are looking into or forward to. But thank you guys for being here. Once again, Nelson's a little under the weather today. He's got a cold, so don't mind Nelson if he seems a little cranky or if his voice sounds like a he/she voice. He's okay. He just has a little cold. Thick stuffy nose is what he's got. Nelson?
And my kid's got my fucking nerves just shot.
And his kid's got his nerves shot, so sounds like Nelson needs fucking some relaxation. Hopefully we can get that for him. We're talking about our favorite hobby. So welcome. Another week. First State of Gaming of March. I think this month we will have a total of 5. What up, Henry? I think this month we'll have a total of 5 podcasts just because today is the first Sunday of the month. So a lot of gaming to be had, which coincides with how much games we got coming out. And I think we're gonna start with a little bit of the gaming side of things in regards to some of the announcements that came out this week. And in specific, well, before we get to that, Nelson, how are you? Besides the obvious, how have you been? What games have you been playing?
Well, I finished Banishers and I played Ys 10.
So you finished up Banishers. How many total hours you got in that bad boy?
99.
99. Wow. 99 hours, and you just started Ys 10? Or are you picking it back up?
Picking it back up.
Damn. So Nelson got 99 hours on Banishers. That's impressive because I beat the game. I did maybe 40% of the side missions, and I did it in 40 hours or maybe 45, something like that.
It's not really impressive. It just means I get lost a lot. Like, I spent hours looking for a way up this mountain or whatever. Like, okay, go this way. Well, can't unlock that yet. Fucking dig it, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's a long time. And Ys 10, I almost bought that game. How is it so far?
It's good, but my favorite's still 8.
Yeah, I'm waiting to catch it on a sale. Also, for some reason, I don't like these type of games, but the Monster Hunter stories has been catching my attention. I'm not quite sure why. What's up, Byron? How you doing, bro? I'm kind of waiting for those to go on sale too. But yeah, a lot of games coming. Me personally, I have been playing Prey, which I just beat for the first time ever back last night. I streamed it. Shout out to Henry who was there. I turned it off. I took a little break and I turned it back on because I thought I was at the end, and I was correct, and I did beat the game. And I can see why so many people praise that game and hold it up as one of the great ones. I didn't feel that way about it, but I can see why people think that. There's a lot of good things going on with that game, and it was made by Arcane Studios, published by Bethesda. And this game just showed proof on how well these studios that are now owned by Xbox made these games. And I don't know what happened, but their new shit is lacking. I mean, the AI in Prey is so impressive. It's so smart. It's so intuitive. It's so, like, I haven't played a game like that really where the AI is that impressive. And to see what they've done recently, it's insane. But the story
to play Deathloop, that's got the dumbest AI of all games ever.
No, Deathloop sucks ass. I actually got Deathloop for free. I think it was 2022. I bought it at GameStop over the phone on the app, and I went to go pick it up, and it was New Year's, and I'm scrolling through my phone, or it was right around New Year's time. I was scrolling through my phone on New Year's, and I get an email from Best Buy saying that they refunded my money for Deathloop, and I'm like, what the fuck? And
That's what I wanted.
after I did a little bit of investigation, so whenever you pick up a game you buy at GameStop, what they do is they give you the game. Sometimes they give you the receipt, or they should be giving you the receipt, and when they print it out, it obviously shows that you picked up your order. Well, for Deathloop, they didn't do that, so they just handed me the game, said have a great day, and they never printed out the receipt, or they never checked the game out. So I ended up getting Deathloop for free, which is fine because I only paid like $20 for the game. It was on sale. That game went on sale pretty quick. Henry, is that you?
What's up, gay boys?
What up, Henry? How you doing, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling like a villain, playing some Monster Hunter Wilds in this bitch.
Yeah, let the people know what you've been gaming, because you just got a platinum too.
Oh yeah. I did just get a platinum. I finished Tales of Iron 2 on yesterday night. I finished it, and I had a couple more trophies to clean up, so I went on ahead and cleaned them bitches up and got that plat. And then today I was out like at a little kid's birthday party, so I ain't played much games today until like right now. Monster Hunter Wilds right now, and just beat, well, not to spoil, but I just beat a particular monster. But yeah, that's what I'm on right now, man.
Well, actually, let's get into the Monster Hunter conversation first. So I bought Monster Hunter a few hours ago. I downloaded it and then I left. I didn't even play it. I left to my mom's house, had some dinner over there. Then I got back around 5 o'clock, and I started playing it. Of course, the first like 30 minutes is your customization, which I did. I picked a baddie. Fucking baddie. I wish I would have told me that the fucking the female characters in that game were fucking bad as shit. I was having a fucking hard time trying to pick which one, but I picked the one that had the long hair, brunette, fucking sexy. So I kind of spent a little bit more time than I should have doing that. You know, I normally just pick whatever. I don't care really about customer or character customization. But so I took a little bit longer, and then like around 5:40 or so, my dad got back from the hospital, so I had to get him situated and shit. And that took me a little bit of time, so I got back on it around 6:30. And then I did the tutorial mission kind of in the beginning, and then I did the mission where you take that brother and sister back to their village or town or whatever, and then you got to hike it back to your camp. And when I hiked it back to my campus, when I shut it off, because then I was like, let me grab a snack real quick before the podcast starts. And so as I was saying earlier, the game, the Monster Hunter Wilds. So in the beginning, it's just like the demo, right, that we got a few months ago. It plays just like that, so I knew what was happening. I knew what to do. But the one thing that reminded me, well, before I talk about the negative, I loved how the game looks. The game looks phenomenal. It runs well. To me, it looks polished. I didn't see issues. The characters are fire. The voice acting is pretty good. It still has that JRPG kind of feel to it, but it's good. The world itself is fascinating. You know, the monsters that I saw are freaking cool as shit. My biggest complaint with the game, which reminded myself after I started playing it, is how the combat feels clunky to me. Now, I know it may not be clunky to others, but it's a little stiff. And not stiff as in the character is stiff, because the character is actually very fluid. It reminds me a lot of like a regular action adventure game like Horizon, like what you guys are looking at, which I really like. But the action of combat itself, it feels like there's too many steps. And that's the thing I don't like about it. Now, I know there's a learning curve, and I'm obviously going to try to learn it, and I'm sure it'll flow the more I learn. But you who have been playing it for a lot longer than I have, right, because I only got about 2 hours into it, what are your first impressions on Monster Hunter? What do you think? Do you? Well, we know Capcom has a hit in their hands, right? They sold 24 or a million copies within 6 hours of release, which is insane.
More than that, that's a million concurrent players, which means they probably sold like 5 million
Oh, you're right.
within
You're
Yeah,
right.
6 hours.
I think it said
Probably
5 million
maybe
now.
10.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, because that would just concurrent players on Steam, not including PlayStation, not including Xbox, which will probably be minimal.
Not including
But
people that are at work or
yeah, all that.
gone.
So Henry, before I pass it off to you, let me just follow up. My dream lineup for a great year in gaming will be. We're gonna get into that, Byron. We're gonna get into that, my guy. Henry, so what are your first impressions with Monster Hunter? We know that it's a financial hit for Capcom. Do you think the game has Steam? Do you think longevity is there? Let me know your thoughts on it.
I think it has Steam just so long as they keep up with releasing even old monsters. As long as they keep the flow of monsters coming, it'll maintain Steam. And as far as this one, we speak about the clunkiness. That's just the design of the combat of these games. Surprisingly, it's a lot smoother than Monster Hunter Worlds. Monster Hunter Worlds was a lot more. You really had to be deliberate in your positioning, and then it went to Rise. Whereas Rise, I look at Rise as like a Monster Hunter light. You know what I mean? It's a little more arcadey and swift, and it's not as heavy on the resources and stuff. It's just a real. It's like kid friendly Monster Hunter.
Maybe I should check that one
Is
out. I do own it.
yeah. I had bought it when it first came out because that was coincidentally right around the time my daughter was born. So I bought it to actually take to the hospital, and play while we was gonna be chilling in the hospital, while my daughter was born. Because you got to stay for like 2 days after the pregnancy or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'm gonna pick that
How old
up
is
and
your
then I'm just
daughter?
she'll be 4 in April.
So my niece is 3. I love that stage of kids, man, between the ages of 2 and like 5. Oh, that's my favorite. They're the
Yeah,
best.
bro. She's so adventurous. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I like it. I dig it a lot. And even though it's a shorter storyline, I feel like it was good on them to do it that way because Monster Hunter World was like a huge time commitment, and though some fans might not like that aspect of it, the game's still gonna prolong anyway, even after the story. So I don't really see it as a big deal. And from what I played so far and what I hear from people who enjoy it, it's a great experience as far as like onboarding new people to get new people into the franchise, which is great, and will also contribute to the longevity of the game. Um, and obviously it worked out since it's doing the crazy numbers it's doing. Because I think Monster Hunter World's only peaked at like half of what this is done. So that's my thoughts on it right now. And the characters are cool, of course. People don't like the little kid. It's a little kid, bro.
What's up, Hansu? How you doing, bro? Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, Nelson. Well, before I pass it back to Nelson, so far, how many hours do you have on it on the game, Henry?
Um, I think 10.
10 so far that you have 10 hours in. You got a really good feel for the game. If you had to give it a rating just based on what you played, based on the story so far, based on the combat, based on the monsters you've seen, based on the upgrades and the inventory man, all that, what would you give it?
8.
8. All right, cool. Nelson, have you played Monster Hunter at all? Is it something that interests you?
I tried the demo on World, and yeah, well, wasn't really digging it. So, and I know that game's a big commitment. Like JTech just put 1,000 hours in that bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've
He got
heard
the
that.
platinum at 1,000 hours.
it's a
I've heard,
huge game.
I've heard that before. And I normally stay away from this shit right here, but me and Nelson have been leading a very busy life this weekend, so I have about 20 articles on my phone, and I want to read one with Monster Hunter. And by the way, they're all from Screen Rant. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was lazy between the hospital, being at home, taking care of my business. I just didn't really have the time. But let me just read this real quick because this is going to talk about the impact that Monster Hunter has had. And the title of this is Monster Hunter Wilds is already breaking records just hours after launch. And this this article was written 2 days ago. So this is when Monster Hunter released. So we don't know much data since then. Capcom hopefully puts out some more information, but we know with Capcom that they wait, no, I'm thinking of Square Enix. Square Enix is
Yeah,
like, we sold 20 million. It's a
I
failure.
can tell you half my friends list right now. That's what they're playing.
Oh, at least for me too. And it says
So
here,
50 people, about 25 of them are playing it.
Monster Hunter Wilds already breaking records just hours after launch, beating Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring, the highly coveted Elden Ring. So it says
Ooh,
here,
that's
the
crazy.
highly anticipated launch of Monster Hunter Wilds isn't just a success for developer and publisher Capcom, it's a smash hit. Setting records on Steam, Monster Hunter has long been beloved series, but it's only risen to prominence in recent years, with Wilds already reaching unprecedented heights on launch day. The creature battling action RPG has even surpassed recent phenomena like Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3, cracking the top 10 for all time highest concurrent players on Steam. So we're talking about of all time, guys. And mind you, this article was written the day it came out, so Friday. Continuing on, Monster Hunter Wilds just launched today, February 28th, but has already reached a peak concurrent player count of a staggering 1,307,976. Guys, that's just Steam. That's not PlayStation. That's not Xbox. That's not nothing else. And mind you, the game didn't release on Nintendo. So imagine how
Right.
bigger that game is gonna be once they, port the game over to the Switch 2, if they do, right? Which we think they will, right? Because the Switch 2 is supposed to be more powerful, easier, whatever. Exceeding 1.3 million concurrent players is the sixth best all-time concurrent player count in Steam history, behind PUBG, Battlegrounds, Black Myth, Wukong, Pal World, current Counter-Strike 2, and Lost Ark. The last mainline game in the series was Monster Hunter World, which reached an all-time peak of 334,684, almost 1 million players fewer. Guys, that is insane. 1 million players fewer was the all time peak of the previous Monster Hunter game in the series.
And
Uh,
Monster Hunter World's their best selling game by about 300%.
that's insane. That's insane. But now, let's get into the other side of this. And before I do, Henry, does this surprise you that this game is doing that well?
To be honest, yeah, it did. It does surprise me actually. Because as you said, the world didn't do nowhere near this, and because the issues on, well, obviously it got issues across everywhere, right? But the majority of the issues on PC, and we know that that's a not a large percentage base, but a large player base for
Hmm.
Capcom on PC. And
Yep.
I would have thought that since it has so many issues, it would have caused a lot of people to, kind of hold back or wait,
Yeah.
because PC guys do pay attention to them Steam reviews for sure.
Well, that's
So
actually what I was going to get into next is the PC side of Monster Hunter, and I got the article pulled up for that too. And I agree with you, Henry. This is surprising to me. I mean, I knew they were going to hit the million mark, uh, probably within the week. I didn't expect it, maybe even the day, right? But not within a few hours. And let me give you my theory, and then Henry and Nelson, you guys can chime in and kind of say, if you think I'm right or if I'm being a fucking dumbass. But I honestly think that, and this is also gonna get into a discussion we're gonna get into later on in the show, where me and Nelson had a disagreement about this on the Discord, and I put the evidence up on the video that I made on my channel earlier, which is the one that I said RPG, Nelson, and Brett should check out because I shouted them out in that video. Is one of the reason I think this game is doing very well, besides the fact that it looks good, is one, it's current gen. It's a current gen game. It looks like a current gen game. It plays like a current gen game. And to be real, in my opinion, and this is where I need you guys to chime in and say I'm a fucking dumbass or if I'm going somewhere with this, is that I feel like we haven't had many games like Monster Hunter Wilds release in the last couple years. And the games that we have been mediocre at best, such as Avowed, Starfield, right? But a game
yeah.
like
Just say the
this,
West. Period. It's faster.
but a game like this It's current gen. It looks current gen. It's actually a good game. Capcom did their thing. I think that with the years of experience, they took a lot of learning from these games, and I think that's the reason it's doing so well. It's because another thing too, February has been a slow month for gaming. Now, it may not feel like it, which is a conversation we're going to get into in a little bit. I think February was a very light month, and March is so overstuffed with games that I think some of these games could even out, could have came out in February, but we'll get into that. But I think that the year has started slow, even though we know this year's going to be a banger. Um, but it's a current gen game. It's they've invested the money, they've invested the time. It looks crisp. It has all the furnishings that we want as gamers, right? And I think that's the reason the game is doing so well. Just because we've been having nothing but bullshit the last couple of years, it's current gen. It looks current gen, and also it plays well. What do you guys think about what I just said? Henry,
You
we'll start
can
with you.
oh, well, I do agree with everything you said. But to add to that, what go and even to pick it back a little bit off of what Nelson said, these developers from the East, they focus on making a fun game first. They don't focus on trying to tell you some bullshit story around some bullshit character. They focus on gameplay and gameplay only, especially inside of this, especially inside the franchise, right? Monster Hunter has been around for a long time. And what they done is they continue to focus on what made the franchise great. And over time, they've accrued more and more and more and more fans and gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that
Yeah,
goes to show
Monster Hunter
you,
never did nothing until the last one, and that one fucking the last one sold the previous like fucking 10, 12, whatever the hell there is combined.
yeah, yeah, and they stuck with it and they continue to further, how you say, refine gameplay, visuals, and things of that nature. And over time, they world kind of brought a lot of eyes into it, and then they capitalized from there. And that's why we got what we got now. And also to add to it, I do believe the cultural state inside the game also contribute to it doing extremely well
Yeah.
with a lot of nonsense that's going on. People see that this is a game that focuses on gameplay and not the other bull crap. And so
And not
I
just
feel like
gameplay,
the
Henry, but the aesthetics of the game is very pleasing to the eye. I mean, I was joking a little bit about how the characters are fucking baddies, but let's be real. That adds to the flair of the fucking
it
game.
does,
Because
it
we all
does
like
indeed.
we like attractive characters. It is what it is. We're fucking human. We're superficial as fuck. You know what I mean? Most of us choose our spouse because they look good. Doesn't matter if you're a woman or a guy. You're a guy, you want your wife to be hot. You know what I mean?
Bro,
You're a woman, you want your
If
man to be
Kratos looked
hot.
like what the hell's his name? Big Fat Bastard, I don't think I'd find the game as appealing
No.
even as a guy.
And there has to be other things that would make him appealing, right? Like Thor, for example. Thor was a fucking, beer belly ass motherfucker, but guess what? He had the power
He's
of,
still a
of
badass
lightning.
though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that attracts Thor. And then now you add the beer belly aspect into the game, and now you have more that enhances that attraction. But let's get into it. Or Nelson, do you have anything else to say about what I just said about why it's doing so well?
Nah, I wasn't surprised though, because Worlds it didn't fire off that fast because the other ones weren't that popular, but it had legs for days. I mean, the game sold like 25, 30 million.
Yeah. And I think this game is also gonna have it's gonna have a lot of fucking fuel. It's gonna be going for a while. Now let's get into the other side of things, right? Because things haven't been all rosy and dozy and dandy and happy with Monster Hunter either. Now this is another article from Game Rant. Now this one came out yesterday, so a day after release. And the title is Capcom response to Monster Hunter Wilds performance issues on PC. Now once again, guys, me and Nelson had a busy weekend, so I got a whole bunch of articles because we just haven't had the time. So please forgive us. But I still stand behind the fuck the article bullshit. Let's speak our minds. Um, and also shout out to every single one of you guys that are here, man. We got almost 10 people in the house right now, so please hit the like button. If you can share this stream out to your friends, family members, to your wife, to your husband, let them know that Will 777 JP, Mr. Henry Heck, and Nelson Gaming Culture are live talking games. Um, Game right here says Capcom has issued a response to the widespread player reports of Monster Hunter. Um, what's up, Cyber? How you doing, bro?
Oh,
Cyber
cool. What's
Dragon in the
up?
building. Hell
The
yeah.
What
PlayStation
up?
Godfather himself.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Uh, he's probably getting his headphones ready. Capcom has issued response. Monster Hunter Wilds PC performance issues, offering several tips for improving one of their experience. For improving one's experience, the company's comments sparked a mixed response from Monster Hunter Wilds players, partly because the developer has yet to address what some fans feel is the underlying cost of their sub suboptimal experience. Wow, my
Suboptimal. Is that what it's saying?
suboptimal. Yeah, fuck. My reading is
Hey,
fucked
bro, I
up.
was just asking.
Suboptimal. Fuck. Monster Hunter Wilds was released for the PS5, Xbox XS, PC on February 28th. Its stream users' reviews are significantly worse. One thing I want to talk about reviews too, real quick. Well, not reviews, but ratings on PlayStation, y'all. This blew my fucking mind. When I was deciding whether to buy the game, I was looking at the reviews. Monster Hunter Wilds has 30,000 reviews. Guys, this game came out 2 days ago. To give you an example, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out February 4th. The game has 11,000, which is another game that sold bonkers, which is another game that sold 1 million copies. I think it was in the first week, not the first day. So we have a game like Kingdom Come that has 11,000 ratings on PlayStation versus Monster Hunter in 2 days, 30,000. Guys, that is an insane amount. You have to think when you put your average game that comes out, maybe some people know about it, some people don't. You're talking hundreds of reviews or ratings. That's it. You don't get very many. Now, if the game becomes a little bit popular, it might reach the 1,000, 2,000, review or rating mark, but nothing like this. The only time you really see this many ratings is like Horizon that's been out for 6, 7 years. You know what I mean? The Spider-Mans, the big AAA games. But Cyber, welcome. Welcome to the podcast, bro. How are you? Oh no. Yeah, nah, bro. We here every Sunday. It's called the State of Gaming Podcast. It's me and Nelson. Nelson's the co-host, and then sometimes we have. But I leave it open so people can hop in because when I started this channel, I wanted to. I didn't want like the bullshit that everybody else does, like read. Which I'm reading articles right now, but I didn't want to like read articles, sticks to them, have like guests that are appointments. No, I just want to leave it open. No matter if you're a cyber or if you're just some regular dude who plays games, you should be able to hop in and talk gaming with the boys. So welcome, bro. What do you think about Monster Hunter? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are you playing right now?
He on the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's what he's been streaming all week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are you going for platinum 1,000 now or what?
Sheesh, man, beastie. Man, Cyber, I wish I can catch your streams more,
uh,
but you put them out pretty late, so I gotta be in bed by then. But man, yeah, you're a beast, bro.
yeah, I catch him because I'm at work at nighttime, so I catch
So do
him.
I. Yeah.
Well, that's yeah. So I'm like you, Cyber. I don't really fuck with Monster Hunter too much, but my birthday was Thursday or Wednesday this week, and my son gave me a $25 gift card. Nelson gave me a $25 gift card. So I was like, you know what? I got 50 already. I might as well just put up the $20 and get this game because I did play the beta and it was interesting. I know that is something that is gonna be a slow burn for me. I'm not just gonna play it from front to back right away. But you know what? For $20 out of pocket, I'm like, I'll get it. It looks good. It plays good. Why not? I'll check it out. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, it's yeah, yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Gizmo.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. Nah, I don't agree.
And then you got the New York Times giving Uncharted 4 out of 10.
Yeah, it's for sure gonna be up there.
Hey, Cyber. I think your setting for your, because nobody can hear the chat, they can only hear me. I think you have to put share your voice on your settings in order for them to hear you, because nobody can hear you. Maybe,
It
maybe.
might, it might be different while you in because we can hear you like when you do your solo stuff, but it might be different when you're in party. It's where whoever is the party leader can't share your voice.
Yeah, we can hear Henry Nelson say something.
Yeah.
Every Sunday,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
8 o'clock Central. 8 o'clock Central. 9 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, so you're Eastern time. Yeah, so it'll be 9 p.m. for you, bro.
Yeah, I'm Eastern also. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely. Thank you, Cyber.
Oh, hey, Cyber. Oh shit. I'll message him later.
Sorry about that, guys. We
That's the Godfather. You want to see
Bruh,
someone who plays fucking games, bro?
yeah.
bruh.
That
He
that
platinum everything.
that motherfucker has beaten more games than I've seen that I know exist.
Yeah, Cyber is the man, man. He like you heard him say he's got over 600 freaking platinums. I mean, the dude is a gamer for real. Been doing this since a lot of us were in fucking diapers. You know what I mean? So shout out to
Boom,
Yes,
Cyber.
boom,
sir.
boom.
Yeah, shout out to Cyber for stopping in, man. Hanging out. Too bad we had the audio issue because I really would like to get his opinion on some of these topics. I'm also trying to get Brett back in here because I kicked him out thinking that he was the problem, and it ended up being Cyber. So either way, Brett, if you're still here, uh, come on back because I can't find you to send you an invite. There he is. Let me send him the invite. All right, there we go. Chat, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Is that? Oh, that's him. There you go.
Yo, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Cyber know how to get to that setting.
All right,
I was taking
so
a piss while you guys were going through it.
yes, we everybody can hear you now. What's up, Brett? How are you doing, my guy?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody else?
We
Awesome.
are good, bro. So, you came at the right time because we're talking about Cyberpunk. I mean, not Cyber. Fuck. That's how much I love Cyberpunk. Monster Hunter Wilds. And I know that if Monster Hunter Wilds was an actual female in real life, you would try to fucking marry it and have 100 kids with it. So explain
Yeah.
to us, what is it about this game that you would let it peg you?
Uh, so if if any of you played Worlds, you know Monster Hunter isn't really known for a story. It's like a lot of you go to talk to people, a lot of dialogue. And I'll tell you this, there was a couple cutscenes because I consider this game a cinematic masterpiece. I'm not even kidding. There was a couple scenes in this game, a couple cutscenes where my jaw was literally hitting the floor like, holy shit, like it feels like I'm watching a high quality animated like scene from a badass movie. The the one I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there was a point in the story where I was like, there's no way that this is what's happening. Like I was just so mind blown that with everything that was going on. Now the biggest issue I have is like the multiplayer accessibility. It's definitely a challenge. It's hard to navigate. It's menu after menu after menu. You have like link parties and then environmental parties and all this other shit going on. I wish it was a little bit simpler, but it's fantastic. The way that they changed the weapons, how the weapons are now. I mean, dude, I have not been able to put it down. Like I said, I'm 50 hours in. I beat the storyline. Uh, Not even the storyline, because after you beat the storyline and get into endgame, there's a lot more storyline. But I finished like lower rank, it's called, probably hour 20. 48 hours in, and I'm still finding new monsters. I'm still experiencing the story. There's not been a moment where I was like, fuck, dude, this is boring. It just, every monster I fight, it kind of
Shoot.
feels new, even though it's not the way that I tackle the monsters. Dude, it's fun.
So,
It's fun.
question for
The
you, Brett.
story's
Then,
incredible.
did you hear
Hmm.
my complaint earlier about, or the things that I kind of didn't like about the game? Did you hear that earlier? Like where I said that
Yeah.
the okay. What do you have
So
to say
here,
about
so
that?
So, one issue that I'm noticing that I'm having, I don't know if it's my controller, maybe my controller's broken, but I'm noticing an input delay in terms of when you play this game and you're on your mount, you could jump off your mount with A or X, and then you could use your attack button to use an attack on the monster. So I'll run at the monster, I'll hit my A button, and then I'll hit my attack button. It doesn't register my A button at all, and all my guy will do is attack on the mount, and I'll keep pressing A to jump off. He won't jump off, but he'll keep attacking. Let's say I need to sharpen my weapon. I'll be on like my healing pot. I'll hold what is it, LB, and then I'll hit B to go over to the sharpening tool. I'll let go, and it will use a healing pot because it doesn't register that I'm pressing the B button. So I'm sitting there and I'm like holding the left bumper, and I'm like mashing B, and then on like the fifth try it finally registers that I'm hitting B. Uh, and I think that's where like the clunkiness that you feel is the same thing I said, but like Henry said, I'm pretty sure that's just like a Monster Hunter uh
Thing.
thing. Like you're not just gonna mash your buttons and then try to get out of there with a dodge. Like they kind of changed it up a little bit where like with the dual blades and in Monster Hunter Worlds, like if you were in this one animation doing your move, you were kind of like stuck there and you couldn't do shit. Now you could like kind of press a button, get out of that mode that you're in and dodge out of there. But yeah, I said the same thing in the one Discord. I mean, I'm like, yo, I've tried a lot of the weapons, but they kind of feel clunky. They don't feel right. That's why I kind of like stuck with the dual blades as long as I have, because everything else just kind of feels off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I said earlier, it's gonna be a learning curve for me, right, to get used to it, and just like any game, right. And I brought up Dying Light last time, where the jumping for Dying Light is R1, and most people are used to
Yeah.
Yeah,
X,
that
but
threw me all the way
Yo, that
off when I
threw me
played
off
that.
so bad in that
yeah,
game.
yeah. But once you get used to it, you get into you get into flow, and then you start to understand about why they did that, and it makes so much sense after you do it. So it's just about me having to put the time in. Damn, right now I'm in this Horizon game. I don't know how the fuck to get to my mission, even though I beat this game numerous times. But yeah, what do you think about since we got, and one thing I want to tell the people who are listening here, Brett is a fucking gamer, y'all. Like if you guys
Yeah,
didn't
he be
catch
fucking
this,
gaming. He
Brett
be
got
fucking gaming.
48 hours into Monster Hunter. The reason he has that is because he was able to change his time on his Xbox to play the game early. He started playing Friday at 6 in the morning, y'all. So from 6 in the morning Friday, he got the game early. He has been playing, or was it Thursday? 6 a.m.
No, it was Friday, 6 a.m.
Friday 6 a.m. So he's been playing probably a few hours before the rest of us.
Yeah.
So nonstop.
Yeah.
What game were you playing before Monster Hunter?
I actually, believe it or not, I jumped into I started replaying Outriders
Uh,
with a buddy
Oh
of
yeah, I
mine.
remember that. I
And
Hell
remember
you
that.
yeah. I
you beat Avowed too, right? This week.
I did. I
All right.
did.
So Brett is a gamer, y'all. So I mean, as long as I known Brett, which is probably close to a year now, I mean, I hear him say how much he likes games. I also, I don't see how much he dislikes games as often, but we definitely know when Brett doesn't like something. So the fact that he's speaking this highly about Monster Hunter does speak volumes, because the dude plays games like very few do in the industry, and he is a gamer. So this is huge. Um, Anything, Nelson? Anything else you want to talk about Monster Hunter?
Nah, I just want to see if this shit hit like 40, 50 million or what.
Yeah, that's gonna be the interesting thing. How long it's gonna take to get to those numbers, and I think it will. I mean, fuck, a
Yeah,
million.
I think it's going. I think it's going to top Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we'll see. We
Because
have
it topped out on Steam at what, 1.366 million on
it,
Saturday
Crazy.
morning, I think it
yeah,
was.
1.3 million by here. I got it right here. It was the numbers exactly are 1.307976 in the first few hours, which beat Baldur's Gate 3, beat Elden Ring.
Oh my
So
God, that's
it
crazy.
ranked number 6 all time on Steam. So huge,
And that's
huge
what's
numbers.
crazy. That's what's crazy when you guys like bring up like the old Monster Hunters and you really like try to compare the numbers. It really does make you wonder like what is it about this game that's because this game isn't like if you really it isn't super far off
Nah,
from
yeah,
World. It's
it
not.
really ain't. It's a little
So,
bit smoother and it's a
yeah,
little
but
bit
but
easier
the
to
the
get into.
fact that it's hitting like this, that's a very good question that you bring up, man, because it it it's weird that it's and like you said, like the ratings on PC are horrible, but it's still maintaining good numbers, you know? Like what the fuck is going on there?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that speaks volume when a game it has the issues that it has on PC, but yet it still reached number 6 of all time. But another thing too,
Yeah.
well, it's a double-edged sword because with Steam's a little bit different. With Steam, you can actually get a refund on the game if as long as you do it within 2 hours.
excuse
And
me.
I forget how long length of whatever, but 2 hours is generally the universal rule. They'll give you a refund, right? It's not like PlayStation where if you buy something and it's broken, you're fucked. There's nothing PlayStation's gonna do for you,
You can buy something on PlayStation before the game actually come out. They
and you're
still won't give
fucked.
you a fucking refund.
Exactly. The most they'll do is say something like, contact the developer, right? It's like, motherfucker, if
Oh
I can
my
contact the
god.
developer, I'm trying to get an interview, not fucking get my money back. You're the store, you fucking asshole. But that's what PlayStation does. They're like, well, have the developer fucking fix it. Yeah, like fucking Capcom is gonna be like, hey, Will over there in the United States and the fucking North Central is having an issue. Let's get to it, guys. It's the weekend. Let's get to work. No, that shit ain't fucking happening. But it's interesting that we're talking about Monster Hunter because Hunter is a duel of two types of games. It's a live service game, but it also has single player in it. And this is a question I want to talk to you guys about because I have another article here by Gamera, and let me just read this to you guys and then we'll get into the conversation. The article is live service games are hugely popular amongst PlayStation and Xbox gamers. Over 40% of playtime on PlayStation and Xbox is spent in live service games like Fortnite and Call of Duty. Popular live service games like Fortnite, Overwatch 2, and Marvel Rivals are free to play, boosting their popularity. Despite some missteps, live service games continue to be successful on consoles with strong support from fans and developers. So that is
Hell
super
yeah.
interesting because they're saying 40%, right? So that means 4 out of 10 gamers are playing live service games on PlayStation and Xbox, which is actually good news to a player like me because I'm a single
Nah,
player.
isn't it 40% are in the top 10 multiplayer games?
No, it said over 40% of playtime on PlayStation and Xbox is spent in live service games like Fortnite and Call of Duty. So just live service gamers in general, not doesn't matter if the game is in the top 10 or in the bottom 100. It's all live service games, which is good news to me because I thought that number would be higher. I thought that number would actually be closer to 60, 70%. But I'm so thankful that it's not. And that also answers a lot of questions of why when PlayStation drops a single player game like Last of Us, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, they're selling 10, 15, 20 million copies. Well, the answer's right there, guys. Yes, PlayStation gamers, Xbox gamers are playing live service games because of their friends, but these people are also buying single player games too. And Monster Hunter is a great example of that because it is a single player game that you can play with friends. There is a live service element to it. What do you guys think about the whole, the old conversation that we've been having, which sounds like an ABK conversation where it's just people are hammering on it over and over again? But Henry, we'll start with you. Do you think?
I told you 40% of playtime in January was a part of those 10 live service games, the same ones that account for 70% of PS5 and Xbox users played one of the top 10 games at least once. I was gonna say it should be like
obviously it's gonna be 40% that play the top 10. They're the top 10 games. 10. I know that, but obviously it's the top 10 because it's the top 10. You're not gonna go from Marvel Rivals to the fucking indie fucking live service game. Like that's just not gonna fucking happen. If you're playing Call of Duty, you're basically a Call of Duty gamer. You're not gonna be switching.
Yeah, but there's 15 different Call of Duties or 20 or something like that.
So you're gonna not play the current one. You're gonna play the 5-year-old one.
If I have it, I haven't
bought one in years. I will say this though, Will. The one good thing about different developers taking over Call of Duty each different time is if, let's say, for example, Modern Warfare 2019. I really like Modern Warfare 2019.
So do I.
I didn't like the next one that much. So that year I didn't play it. What was it? Cold War, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Cold War was the one.
I didn't like Cold War, so I went back and I played 2019. So
Henry,
in that specific,
for 2019, I got 800 hours in that game.
Yeah, you told me. What did you play the
co-op?
Yeah.
Or the PvP, PvE. Yeah, the Spec Ops.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I'll say in that specific instance, because like some people they didn't like Vanguard, so they stayed playing Cold War. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they didn't. So in that specific scenario, a person with Call of Duty, a person could or would just play the old one instead of the new one because they know for a fact next year, not next year, but the year after is gonna be a new one. You know what I mean? So yeah, in that specific scenario, people would still play the older one. You know what I mean? I just want to put that in there because.
Yeah, you want to know one thing? You want to know why another reason why I like that a different company does Call of Duty each time? Is you could kind of tell the identity of each company with each Call of Duty that they make.
Facts, yeah, you can.
You really can. You can, absolutely.
Because I like Infinity Ward because they make a more slower, methodical style of COD.
Yep.
And I like that,
Well, it couldn't be one studio because they have to use how many thousands of people to get it out in 3 years, and from what I've been told that they're working like 60 plus hours a week, all but the 6 months after they release a game.
They get paid bukus of fucking money though. They get fucking paid.
I'm pretty sure their salary, but I heard it's really bad because they got to get it out in 3 years, like no matter what. So,
remember,
the first 6 months after release, the next 2.5 years constant. It's fucking they just grind into the dust.
These dudes' salaries ain't 45, 50K a year.
Yeah, they
so they're not regular salary. They're 6-figure salaries, and they're getting bonus and incentives because they still got to hit those numbers. And no matter what company you work for, you know that if your timeline is that tight, you got to have an incentive to fucking get the motivation going. Because look, developers can switch jobs like you switch underwears, no problem. People are always hiring. That's, sometimes when we see and hear about these layoffs, yes, it's unfortunate, right? But the good ones are going to find a job almost immediately. They're not going to be, free agents for
Yeah,
very long. That's just, it's just the way it is. And that's in any industry, any fucking industry. Yeah, some may be
100%.
slower than others, but the hot ones like the video game industry is where they're making fucking, every year is growing and growing and growing. Now, it may not be growing for console or it may not be growing for PC that year, but PC always grows. But just as an example, the industry as a whole is always fucking growing. And we're going from, we went from 10 billion to 20 billion to 30 to 40 to 100 billion a year. So it's just, it
Mhm.
is the way that it is. But, with PlayStation in specific and live service games, people, we talked about this last week and the previous week, right? Where PlayStation doesn't really have to do exclusives anymore, right? Because they're the default machine now, right? Xbox is on the downhill. I mean, as much as we say they're not competitors, but let's be real, the Switch and the PlayStation are competing against each other because there's two different types of gamers, and the growth that they want to achieve, you have to move people from one side to the other. And the best way to do that is with games. How many Switch gamers right now are drooling because they want to get their hands on Monster Hunter Wild? How many do you think?
Probably not many because they all
Probably
own
not many.
almost all of them own a secondary console. They just buy Nintendo for the Nintendo games and a couple throwbacks.
Well, I disagree because I have three family members, including one of the reasons that I bought the Monster Hunter today so I can play with them. Uh, she, stop, Henry, man, you made me laugh. Uh, they've been a Switch owner basically their whole freaking since teenage years. They just bought a PlayStation, and one of the reasons was for Monster Hunter. The other one's for Hogwarts. So there are gamers out there. I don't want to say it's a large amount, but there are a few of them out there that are Monster Hunter gamers that have been playing on the Switch that are not able to partake in the festivities right now
Festivities, yeah.
with the game. But I'm impressed with the game. Um, Based on the things that I like about it, the things that I don't, obviously I got to get into and grow as a gamer with it. But we'll see how it goes. The whole live service thing, seeing some of these figures and numbers, still give me hope. I just hope that PlayStation puts up more than they could stay quiet. I hope that they speak with their actions louder because I just feel like they've been kind of silent recently, except with a few announcements that we've gotten. But anything else you guys want to talk about live service or Monster Hunter before we move on?
To add to it, just put a little bow on it in case anybody else don't want to say nothing. I do appreciate how, because I play a ton of live service games. Even this past week, I played Spectre Divide, which was kind of it's more an attack shooter style, which is not my forte. But I also play Splitgate 2 Alpha, which is fucking cracking. You know what I mean? And
I
that's
have
the
it installed,
general
waiting on you.
fucking cracking, bruh. But where you can really tell the divide between how shooter games as a service, aka live service, go versus a story based live service. Because Monster Hunter is gonna be live service. They gonna continuously update it, and they went about it in such a way where you got you a solid campaign where you can be acquainted to the world and introduced to the mechanics of the game for 15 hours, 20 hours, and then you unleash them off into the world. And that's the thing that I felt like PlayStation Studios could have really added into this to the live service scape. They could have put out a 10, 15, 20 hour campaign and then, allow the players to live inside the world and update it every couple of months or what have you. That's where I thought Factions 2 was gonna be. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
see different people's takes on live service. Me and you, we love that Remnant 2. We played with Brett.
Yeah.
That Remnant 2 was
Let's
awesome.
go.
Awesome. And it was kind of an unspoken live service because it was still updating. And they did release the DLC that we had to pay extra monies for, but we were more than willing to pay monies for. I get them bitches $50 today for
Yeah.
another DLC. You understand what I'm saying?
Insane.
Awesome
Yes.
game. Awesome game.
Well,
So
And
it
it's
look at
was
a
the
different.
price. It's like
it's
$60 for the game and the DLCs, bro. That's mad cheap.
Well, it's the same argue. It's the same conversation we had even with Concord, Henry, where I was like, if Concord would have done a single player story based thing, campaign, even if it's just a short one, like 5 6 hours to establish the characters and why they look the way they look and why they do what they do, I think it would have done a lot more to help out the game. But them just throwing it out there and then playing a TV show to enforce it, it just didn't do it any favors. But
And
yeah, I agree.
to add to that, at first, I at first, I didn't necessarily agree, but then like in playing Concord, and when you unlock certain nodes to where you can read like character bios, you read where they from, and the certain environments they come from and whatnot. Then I kind of really identified what you saying because I was like, bro, let's say because my favorite character was Roka, right, which was a jetpack rocket individual, and she come from a planet where it's a mining planet, and it's like becoming consumed with caustic gases and whatnot. That's why she wear a helmet. So it come with like caustic gas, and she actually looked pretty cute under the helmet. But we never did get to fucking see that bullshit unless you went into. All right. But anyway, they could have really like let's say they could have had individual character story they could have been fucking an hour and a half 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Just you play the origin story, if you will, you know what I mean? Because they had a decent amount, so combining all the different, let's say you give every character hour and a half story origin, right? Between all the characters they had, you had a fucking 20 hour 18, 20 hour, single player campaign combined, or either you could have like they released those episodes every week and it was like 3 or 4 characters featured in those episodes. How about you present a co-op kind of story situation where either you can do it solo or you and 2, 3 other of your homies can hop up on that bitch and knock out those missions from week to week to week to week, and then you play as the different characters over those weeks. So you're getting a feel for the characters, you get insight, you learning to love the characters because they showing the personality, you know. Because I mean the characters look fucking weird, obviously, but over time it's like a ugly. It's well, I won't say an ugly chick, but it's like a chick you ain't attracted to. The more time you spend with her, the more kind of you like, oh okay, I can
Yeah.
kind of fit. You know what I'm saying?
The more you
I
dig
can kind of
deeper.
fit. Yeah, because
I just
there's some
drink a little
chicks.
more.
Because there's some chicks that you look at initially, she might not be that cute. But the more you kick it with her, you know what I'm saying, the cuter she get. You feel me? We all been there.
Yeah.
We all been there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they could
Every
have.
drink she gets a little better.
See, you try to get in trouble. That's what you try to do. You try to get in trouble.
Hey,
But
funny
that's
on
just
that.
that's
just
just to
just
put my little bow
Well,
on
this
it.
is one of those
You
just
know.
situations where PlayStation forgot what got them to where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And that's that single player base. And I said this, I know that we are the minority, but word of mouth is powerful, man. There's so many. I mean, look at RoboCop. I wonder how many copies of RoboCop sold yesterday or over the weekend because people were retweeting that sell price of 8.99. I bet you there was a big jump in there because everybody was retweeting that motherfucker because it's a great game for a great price. So we may not have
Facts.
all that power, but we do have the marketing power. And PlayStation forgets about that. That you need to cater to the people that put you where you're at, which is a single player, narrative driven, campaign gamers. Where if we can at least see a little bit of what we like in a game, we don't mind it as much. We're not as critical because it has something for everybody. But Brett, what were you gonna
yeah.
say?
Actually, I want to bring up this game specifically because I think it has a lot to do with what we're talking about. And that game is Wayfinder. Now,
I didn't play Wayfinder. Son of a bitch.
if nobody knows what Wayfinder is, Wayfinder is a game that was originally created as a live service MMO. That's what it was supposed to be. Early access. I had it on PlayStation. It was supposed to be a live service MMO, and it was hot garbage. Probably one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. And then the studio that was backing them said, "Unfortunately, we're not going to help you no more. You guys got to go off on your own. But we're gonna allow you to retain the IP. We're gonna let you retain your game." So this studio had two options when they have no money coming in. They could A, cancel the game, or B, they could figure out something to do to make this game survive. So what did they do? They chose option B. They took a live service game. They turned it into basically a offline co-op single player dungeon crawler experience. And I'll tell you this, I was when I found out that they were switching the game, I tried to get a refund from Sony. I did, and believe it or not, bro, they told me to reach out to the developers. I'm not even. I'm not. This isn't even gonna lie, bro. They told me to reach out to the
See, that's
developers. I swear to
Japanese, so
God.
for go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So, but and then like everybody, my brother hit me up the one day. He's like, "Bro, you ever hear of Wayfinder?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." I said it was originally an MMO and it sucked balls. I said they supposedly turned it into like a dungeon crawler, and I heard it's great. He goes, "But bro, it's the only game I play like it's so good." And then it came out for Xbox, and I'm like, "Bro, for $20, what's the worst that's gonna fucking happen?" And when I bought it and I turned it on, like this is where it also entails like connecting with their characters, right? So when you select your character in that game, there's an option to watch a video. It's just a simple 30-second video, but the 30-second video basically tells you the story of the character that you're playing as. Basically, why they are where they're at, what they went through, and all this, whether their family died and somebody killed their family. And that 30 seconds is all I needed. Like, I would look at a character and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm kind of curious." I'd watch the story and be like, "Yeah, I want to play as that guy because his whole demeanor and where he comes from. I want to play as the guy that's had everything taken away from him." You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of people
Facts.
think that like you need like, oh, you need like I need 10 hours of like to connect with this character. Dude, I promise you, if you play that game and you watch those 30-second clips, you'll be like, dude, all I really need is like 30 seconds to really connect with this character if you do it right. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm curious as to like Sony canceling these live service games. Is it possible that these live service games could have let's abandon the live service, but like let's bring your vision to gamers still in one way or another. You
Just a
know what I'm
little
saying? I'm curious.
rearranging, a little rearrangement.
Yeah, I mean, if
You
this
canceled
smaller
Twisted Metal,
studio,
but you kept Concord. The fuck?
this is
Hey,
so what I'm saying is if
first of
this
all, they
small,
kept working on Twisted Metal, my boy.
what about
Huh?
Twisted Metal?
They
Oh no, they
canceled it.
didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm
No,
tripping.
they
Yeah, never
canceled
mind.
that thing.
Yeah, fuck what I'm saying. Fuck me, Nelson.
But that's what I'm saying. If a tiny studio like that has no publisher and no backing, can really like put the foot down and be like, listen, we promised you a game. We're still going to bring you a game, but unfortunately, it's not the game that we said we were going to give you. But we're going to give you what we think is a better version that will allow you guys to play this game until the end of time. And that had to be hard, dude, to say, yo, we're not going to do live service no more. We have to change the whole design of our game has to be completely redone and
Oh, you
recoded.
bitch.
Yeah.
I wish more studios would do that instead of just canceling out games. Give us that studio's vision. Let us see what they wanted. If you can't see it being live service, give us something though. You know,
Yeah.
because I want to see what these studios are up to.
Because
I'm curious.
remember, development's extremely expensive. So you have some of these studios, like in The Last of Us, with Naughty Dogs, as them as an example, how long were they working on, their live service game for, years, millions and millions of
They was
dollars.
working on that bitch for a minute, bro. Cause then they split it from the main game pretty early in development,
Exactly. So it's like, man,
and they was still working on it while they was working on the single player game, and then after the single player game shipped,
Hero
they was
says
still
4 years. So all that time, and you couldn't give us anything but a remake at the end of it all. Like that's sad, man. Because we've
Yeah.
all
They
played.
Yep.
gave PC a
Yeah, they
remake.
were like, "Oh, we want to work on single player." I'm like, "Okay." So you kept letting this get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you knew it was going to take longer and longer and
Facts.
longer. Did you not think of like, hey, the bigger we make it, the more it's going to take to add shit to this later? Like
Fucking
fucking 4
bastards.
years, like that didn't ever once cross your mind once, maybe? Fucking
Right.
oh,
Didn't they cancel a co-op Spider-Man game, or was that just like a rumor?
No, they did.
Like
Yeah.
how? Like on some real shit. Like you're talking about the most famous superhero IP in the history of the world. No joke. Like Spider-Man
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. He
there's
is
He's
no
that
way you're
bigger
going
guy.
to
than
be able to add
Superman.
content to that though, because the way Spider-Man moves, fucking, you do content, they'll be done with it in fucking 20 minutes.
But
Hey, that's
that's
on them though.
yeah, that's on them. That's for
Well, I
them to
mean,
get creative.
you're not gonna keep people in it unless you're just fucking in an arena or something.
Yeah, but there's
You're
still
doing
people that
missions.
play
You're gonna be.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Miles Morales, and those games are it's if you
It's
have
just
a good gameplay loop, you will play until the end of time. That's
Yeah.
the same reason why people still play Anthem to this day, dude, on some real shit. Like you look at some of these games that have had no updates for years, and you'll go on there and you'll see that people are still playing it. Why? Because yeah, there might not be no content, but when you hop in that game, that feeling that you have when you play that fucking game is way more important than I need new content, I need this. Nah, dude, you're just getting on there to
But
have a good time.
remember,
And
when we're talking about all this, we have to also think, man. Look, sometimes the most successful, actually, a lot of the times, the most successful things, the most proudful things, uh, proud, the most things that you're proud of, the most profitable things are the things that were the hardest. Like, bro, it's time to get creative. It's time to do something new. Like that's a time where you do something new. Let's just use Spider-Man as an example. Like the people love the IP. You're gonna sell bonkers as long as the game is decent. That is the
yeah,
perfect IP to try something that has never been done before. And if Spider-Man moves
facts.
too fast, this is the perfect opportunity for you to create something to keep people engaged. And you can't just quit because it's difficult. Are you gonna be fucking remembered as the studio who fucking made seven fucking mediocre games where you barely sold 100K, on one game, 50K another game, just enough to keep the lights on, just enough to keep a few people employed? Or are you trying to develop your studio and blow it up into something that you never thought was imaginable? And that's the difference
Yeah,
between some of these fucking studios. Look, man, I see there's studios out here that we know they're solid at producing their single A, double A games, right? They're consistent. They do one every year. The game works. The game is decent. It gets enough sales, but that's all they're ever gonna be, right? Then you got the big studios that do, banger after banger that take 5, 6, 7 years to make them, but they have a trajectory of making classic games that we consider classic games 20 years later. Which one are you gonna be? You know what I mean? And if you have the
right.
opportunity, that's why I get so mad at Xbox because they had the opportunity to do Knights of the Old Republic. They had an opportunity to do the Spider-Man fucking IP, and they turned it down because it was too hard. They were too
Yeah,
busy doing other shit. They didn't, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'd rather fail at trying something that can succeed and fucking take me to the next level than fail at doing the same old shit.
yeah.
But you know, yeah, it blows my mind. Anything else you guys got to say about live service? Because I want to get into the next topic.
I got to do one more thing, my boy.
Yeah,
One
go
more
Let's
ahead.
thing.
go.
I will say to kind of piggyback off of that. There was an article I had read about the Order 1880 goddamn six
Oh,
and
nice,
how awesome game. It had issues. A lot of people didn't like it. It didn't score as high, but that team had an idea of how they could have, improved on everything, and also added a multiplayer aspect to it, and do so within 2 fucking years.
mm,
And it got shut down. You know what I'm saying? So, and I credit even going back to Monster Hunter, and I'll put even Square in this conversation, because even those two companies, they'll stick with an IP and grow and nurture it, and so on and so forth. Final Fantasy been around for centuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Monster Hunter been around for centuries. You know, PlayStation, Sony PlayStation. I feel like, and even Ubisoft will stick with IP, but Sony PlayStation will cut off an IP too early. I feel like, you know what I mean?
bro. They fucked it
Because
up with Horizon Forbidden West. They put it on the live on the subscription service way too soon. Fucked up a shit ton of sales.
this what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah, the first one,
I don't.
in the same time frame, Forbidden West sold like 2 million more in the same time frame than Dawn, but it stalled out because you play it in the service.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an individual there that's in charge of a certain aspect of game development, or it's some folks there that need to be goddamn fired. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because sure, the Order 1886 didn't score the best, but and sure, there were complaints about it, etc. But the team had a fucking plan for the IP. They took into account the criticism, and they had an idea how to fix it, and they could give it back to you with a multiplayer, aspect within 2 years, and you say no. fucking stupid. And now the team went on the fucking meta and we're building fucking VR. I don't even know if they still open right now. Fucking
No,
dumb
I
shit,
think they're
bro.
closed. I think they shut down.
It's fucking stupid. Cause that's Order 8. I don't know if y'all played that bit,
Oh yeah,
but
I love
listen,
it. Love that game.
the whole premise and you talking about a fucking cinematic game. That's a cinematic game for you right there.
Yeah. It is something
Straight
unique with
up.
that story, with that narrative. It was very unique. It was something that a lot of people would have wanted to do, but they never did. And yeah, you're right. Uh, moving on a little bit, we're still keeping in the topics of games. Let's first talk about, and this is going to be intertwining into one. Earlier in the show, I was talking about how I felt that February was too light of the month. And what I mean by that is that in comparison to what's going to be coming out from basically February through May, it is stacked. But February, out of all the
Fucking
months,
bitch.
is the lightest. And Nelson disagreed with me, but I have here kind of a small list of games that came out in February. I will also be going over a list that are coming out in March and then April. And the big one in April from the Xbox side is Forza, which is going to be a whole topic of its own. Actually, let's get into the Forza topic real quick. So, as we found out over the weekend, Xbox released a date and a price for Forza. Pre-orders are available. Now, the big thing going on with Forza over the weekend is one, thank you bots for playtesting Forza over for the PlayStation because we're going to be getting the most advanced version of the game, which will be the PS5 Pro enhanced version. It's going to be able to do things that not even Xbox can do. But the one thing that really tripped me out that it went from I'm probably going to buy this game, not that I'm buying it, but I'm probably going to buy it to I'm waiting till this motherfucker's on a sale, and that was the price. So they hit us with two different is it two or three? Let me look it up here.
It's three.
Forza,
Three of them.
three of them. So let's go ahead and read these three different options for this game. So the first option is $59.99, and that's just the base game, right?
Which is what
Then
it cost the day it came out.
the day it came out. The next one is the deluxe edition, where you get the full game, and you also get Forza Horizon 5 Car Pass. And then the third edition is the full game Car Pass. You get the Hot Wheels DLC, Rally Adventure, Welcome Pack, VIP membership, and early access starting April 25th, which I find
Early
that to
access
be
for a game that came out 4 years ago.
which I
Car
find that to
Pass that
be
ended 3 years ago.
hilarious because early access has been on Xbox for the last 4 years. So obviously I'm not gonna pay no $60 for this game. I just think that is too much. I played some of it on my Series X, and honestly, I like the Ubisoft Racer better than Forza. What's that
Talking
called?
about the Crew.
The Crew. I actually like the Crew better than Forza. I think the UI in the Crew is a little bit shitty, which is the biggest complaint that I have, and I think others also have the
Yeah,
complaint
yeah,
on that
it
as
is
well.
pretty. It's fucking. It's fucked.
But
It's
as
fucked.
far as like the gameplay, the cars, how it looks, how it feels, I think it's better than Forza. The one strong point with Forza is the scenery, right? You're in Mexico, it's gorgeous, the lighting, all that's phenomenal. But what do you guys think of the pricing? I mean, when we got Hi-Fi Rush, that game was I think 30, $40. Even when we
Wait,
got High on Life, that game was $50. What do you guys think of the $60 price point, this early access bullshit, and the three versions of the game? Henry, we'll start with you.
I
I'll say this. I'm buying the game for my little brother. Well, I won't say little because this motherfucker taller than me. This motherfucker 6'4". But my younger brother because that's his genre. He buys every racing game. He either NASCAR, even the fucking racing games with the NASCAR version with the trucks. I don't even know what that shit called, but he buy all of them. So I'm getting it from him, and he was hyped for it. But for me, I don't even mind the retail of $60 pricing. I don't mind that. But don't present to me a benefit that's not really a benefit. You know what was the shit? The car pass or the car club, whatever the
Car Pass
bullshit.
that ended 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's over. So why are you trying to act as if it's a feature when it's not? You know,
Oh,
just package that bitch up. I'll leave it like even if they said it was 70, it wouldn't even, you know. And of course, if it was 70, and I can get a physical, of course, but
oh yeah, no
include all that
physicals are the
bitch.
other thing.
Yeah, include all that bitch in there as a ultimate edition game, whatever you want to call
That's
that
what I thought
bitch.
they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna sell it for 70 with everything included.
Yeah, just put everything in that bitch. Don't sit up here and lie to me as if I'm in a car club. Bitch, the car club is over. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't mind paying a price for a game I want. You know what I'm saying? So now it's not even about that. Oh, it's 60. What it's about is it's for no fucking benefits. You know what I'm saying? And then too, the crew. And when, cause a lot of you know your Xbox folks was like, oh, it's gonna shut GT. No, first of all, no, fuck,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
If anything, it's gonna crush the Crew 2 sales because it's the same type of racing game. You know what I mean? It's in that reign of, you know, your need for speed. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that play GT7 ain't gonna take a second look at
No.
um uh
I mean, they might, but
uh
they're not gonna stick to it. They're gonna be with
yeah,
GT7.
yeah, cause it's like a black and mild smoker versus a cigar smoker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you can draw some parallels, but it's different. It's
it's
not
an
the same.
arcade game. Forza's an
Yeah,
arcade
yeah,
game.
and not the shit on it, but it's just different, you know. And so that's where I'm at. I'm with you. Like if they pop up in December and it's a physical release, like I'm already buying it, but I'm just buying it for my younger brother. If he didn't want it, I wouldn't be fucking with it at all. But I'm gonna buy it for him because he legitimately want to play it because that's his genre. But for me
Right.
personally, like nah, I'm cool, bro.
All right. Well,
Especially
Brett,
I ain't got no.
Yep.
Brett, with you. So the reason I talked about price pointing specifically, and Henry made some good points, right? Like, don't bullshit me, right? Don't tell me about a feature that really isn't a feature, which I agree with him. But the reason that I talked about pricing mostly is because number one, I'm not really a racing fan, right? But
Uh-huh.
even though I'm not a racing fan, I still know the best racers out there. And I have a PlayStation. GT7 is the best racer on PlayStation. Also, it has the VR mode, which I can pop that thing in and feel like I'm driving an Aston Martin for real. But the reason that I'm focusing on the price point is because there, just like sports games, just like Call of Duty, just like any genre, there are hardcore gamers that love that type of genre and play the majority of their gaming time is on that genre. But majority of gamers, they're not that type. So when I look at pricing, I look at, can this game that I'm really not probably won't play as much at that price point, will it convince me to buy it? For me, it was a no go, and it's strictly pricing. What do you have to say about all that?
Me, I mean, if I don't know how it is now,
Death
but like
Stranding
I
was $20.
like I posted the picture yesterday. Two versions of Forza Horizon are actually top five on the PlayStation Store pre-orders, and believe it or not, the $99 version leads all of them. I think it's in fourth place,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah,
then
they're
right
selling.
behind that. So I think I think the reason why they're selling at that price point is because I mean you look at and this all comes down to the Xbox versus the PlayStation gamers. And it's well known, it's well documented, the evidence is there that three out of every four Xbox gamers don't buy their games.
Yeah.
So everybody knows. I mean, you could look at the numbers on sales for every fucking game that comes to PlayStation. Yeah, I fuck around with you guys and I say, yeah, dude, 3 million isn't that great when you have 65. You know, that's just me bullshitting you. But in all actuality, I think the reason why the price is there is because they know it is a high quality racing game. It is. It's a very high quality racing game. There's a shit ton to do, and I think they know the guys on the Sony side, they pay for quality. If you give them a high quality game, they're going to buy it. They don't give a fuck what it is. They want good, high quality games that brings out the best of their consoles. And what they're doing is they're bringing out a game that we've been playing for years. And you guys are about to get the best by far version of that fucking game, bro. So like your $70 or $60 purchase is actually going to get you further than, let's say, if I was to buy the game for $60. Like I buy Game Pass, so over the 4 years that the game's been out, I've already spent more than than the fucking game is worth, bro, and I don't even play it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
think the price point is there because there's a long history of Sony people buying games. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
So
it's
what
just
you're saying is they're taking advantage.
I don't think they're taking advantage. I think they know we made a high quality game. Our supporters won't support it in a way that we wish they would. So let's see if the Sony guys will support us in a way that our own gamers will.
And they
And
are.
here's the reality. Here's the reality of it. The Sony guys are showing up in troves, and they're not buying the $60 fucking version, bro. They're
Yeah.
buying the $100 fucking version, and
Yeah.
it's making, no offense, it's making. I'm not speaking on me because I buy my fucking games, but it's making 3/4 of this Xbox community look pretty fucking bad right now, bud.
Yeah.
Like on some real shit, it's proven everybody's point. They're not bringing games to PlayStation because they want everybody to have games. They're bringing games to PlayStation because at the end of the day, those motherfuckers will buy the games before 9
Yeah.
out of 10 fucking people on our platform
It's
will.
a
That's why
business.
Game
It's a
Pass was
business.
created in the first place, was to get people to buy and play games
Like,
because they stopped doing that.
Bro, why the
Like
fuck don't you talk like this in a Discord server, bro?
you
Why the
know,
fuck why the fuck
Microsoft
don't
even
you talk
said
like this in a server,
Mhm.
the
bro?
reason that what TV was the last few years of Xbox 360, the majority of their player base just they stopped buying and playing games and just watch TV, which is funny because that's what all my Xbox friends do. Is I got two friends that bought an Xbox 4 TV. They have two smart TVs. I, I'm done arguing with them.
bro,
I don't get it.
Here's I remember when the
I
Xbox
don't
One
get it.
came out, and there was a port in the back of your Xbox One to plug your cable box into.
Yeah.
So you could basically watch your cable through your fucking Xbox. You don't even have to have it plugged into your fucking TV no more. You just turn on your Xbox and you can fucking watch your cable TV through it, through USB. Like, that's just fucking ridiculous to me. But yeah, that's why I'm okay with the pricing, because if these guys on where I play aren't going to support these devs and make it so they can make more games, put it where the motherfuckers will, and they'll appreciate it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's just what it comes down to. Because I buy my games, so I ain't speaking to me. I'm speaking to the other motherfuckers that don't buy their games. The whole Game Pass mentality that is absolutely demolished Xbox. Like, that's just what it. And that's why they made a cheaper console, bud. Because
Yeah. Facts.
they're trying to make Xbox like the cheap man's gaming
Bud,
option. Like,
you're right, bro.
fuck.
Hey, that was a good rant, bro. I fuck with it. I agree 1,000%. I agree with you 100%. And another reason why I'm not getting it is because I'm not gonna pay $60 for a digital game. If it was
Yeah.
physical, maybe I would have been there. But the fact that it's digital, then you're asking for 60. I'm good. Maybe Limited Run will do a fucking physical release of the game, which they have done in the past for like Pentiment and a couple others. But we will see. Nelson, what do you think about all of it, man?
Bro, I like $100 for, like, usually when you got all that content and stuff like that, you have like a Game of Year edition or director's cut or whatever,
Yeah.
and you get
Mhm.
everything for like 40, $50 with 100. It's like, so I get all this old shit for the same price I would have paid for it. Going through, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine that? Like,
Now,
Witcher
they
3,
say they're
Witcher
bringing the
3,
car pass.
buy Witcher 3 the Game of Year edition, $100. Like, what?
Yeah. And like 4 years too, that also is irking my nerves a little bit because it's like, man, it's so long. It took you guys that long, and now you're asking for top dollar. And look, I'm not saying Forza's not worth it,
The
right?
game stopped support 3 years ago too.
Because the values in the gamer, right? The gamer decides if it's worth it or not. And right now they're finding it to be worth it. I think the discussion is more towards the hardcore, right? The ones that are the guys that talk about this every day and we get the information. I think we're the ones. I think your casual gamer doesn't give a fuck. They're just like, oh, another game for me. But yeah, I mean, like Brett said, this game is making these Xbox gamers look really fucking stupid right now. It's like the wife at home and giving you BJ, so you're leaving the house to go get BJ's, and the wife can't get mad because her husband's getting a BJ elsewhere. You know what I mean? So it's a interesting situation, and I'm definitely excited to see the types of games and the amount of games and at the speed they come to PlayStation. I mean, another one that kind of broke news this weekend, we saw some gameplay, is Fable, right? There's a big rumor
Yep.
that Fable got
Let's talk about
delayed
it.
another year because they're trying to port it over to PlayStation. So, Henry, what do you think about all that? Do you think the rumor is true? What do you think?
I think. I do think it's some validity there. I wouldn't solely say it's they delayed it so they could put it on the 5 day and date. I do believe that foolishly, they do still want to give their Game Pass subscribers a benefit because I mean, on the one hand, yeah, they do get a benefit by just by nature of them being subscribed to Game Pass and also having access to it day one. Meanwhile, if they do drop day and date on PlayStation, we have to cough up a hot 70, hot 60, however much it'll cost. That is a benefit, but I do still feel like they want to. I don't think they're gonna do that just yet for that game. You know what I mean?
I
I feel
do.
like that. I feel like they'll make
Wait,
us
repeat that
wait.
again. Repeat that again, Henry. They won't do what?
That I feel like they don't want to do it just yet. A day and date release, even though they still Xbox gamers still get the benefit of not having to pay full price for it. I don't feel as though they will
Oh,
like stab the customer base
oh, I
that.
disagree because they already have
Hey,
stabbed
hey,
them in the
hey,
back.
let me get
You're
it
Bro,
right. You're
they've
out.
been
right. You're right.
lying to them
Let
You're
every
me
right.
get
week
it
for
out.
15
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
on
Let
You're
a
me
right.
get
regular
it out.
basis.
Oh, no, let Henry finish. You're right.
Yeah, and this is just how I feel about it. I feel like they're gonna have a big release on Xbox, let it rock for 6 months, and then drop it off on that God station. Cause I'm gonna be honest, from what they showed, I'm not, and they said it was pre-alpha or whatever, and you had a lot of YouTubers or development hell, and this all we got or whatever, etc. But from what they showed, it wasn't shitty. It wasn't garbage. You know what I mean? There's some things I could nitpick about, but from that label at the bottom when they said here pre-alpha, I can give them a little room because I do see improvements. And I'm not one to say that just because the main female character ain't, I don't want to like bust her down vigorously. That it's a bad. I'm not on that type of time. I do hope though that there's multiple armor sets we can equip on her, multiple we did see multiple weapons. So hopefully I can utilize an axe or whatever because I like axes. That's my thing. Axes and bows. So if I could throw a cool ass armor set on her and melee how I wish, then I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe that a character got to be sexy. I just wanted to look fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. But but from what I've seen, is very Witcher like, of course. And even though there are some people who don't like the Witcher style of combat, that shit still sold like a motherfucker. So obviously people may do. You know what I'm saying? So um, I feel like they're gonna make us wait on PlayStation side for at least a hot 6 months. And if they don't, then shit, I'll be there day one. But that is a game I am interested in
Well,
playing.
Henry, they didn't even make us wait 6 months for Indiana Jones, and that's like
Yeah,
one of their big. It's
they
bigger than
didn't.
fucking Fable.
To be honest, I think they wanted it
I
day
don't
and date, but they
know.
were like, yo, if we're going to get this out fucking at a decent time, we don't
And
have the
also
people to
too,
do it at the same time without delaying it quite a bit farther. So,
also
Honestly,
too, Xbox don't necessarily have a say so with Indiana Jones. They kind of got to operate. It's
nah,
like
they
with
fought for that exclusivity. They redid the deal, but they changed it because they need fucking money, dude, because nobody
yeah,
buys anything
yeah,
over there.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because it's like the situation with MLB the Show and PlayStation. Either
Well,
you do
that
what
was
we
that
tell
was
you to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
or we
it's
take the
like either
license away.
you do what we tell you to do, or you're not gonna make it. You know what I
And
mean?
that
So
whole
I kind of
studio is set up for that shit. So they'd have to like completely start over and fucking like their engines built for it. It's like, bro, they would not be
shit,
making
couldn't
money
have been
for.
me. I wish a motherfucker would have said
I
that shit
think
to
that
me.
the
I would
only
say,
re
take your bitch ass license.
I think that the only reason we're waiting right now, the only reason we're waiting right now in between releases between Xbox and PlayStation is because they're porting the game over. But once in a couple years they get into the flow of porting games to PlayStation, I think they're
It's
gonna
not gonna
come
be a
out day
big
to
deal
day.
anymore.
I think they're gonna want that money, bro. They're not gonna wait in between fucking
Oh, you
game
don't think Gears
releases.
is going day one, bro? They are throwing everything over there. Like you're gonna see a ton of games come out this year.
But
Hey,
Because
wait,
I mean, they say it right in their
do
financial. Like you
we know
either
what
figure out how to
engine
become profitable
Fable's made
or
in?
yeah,
What engine
huh?
is made in Fable?
The Forza engine. That's why it's taken a goddamn decade. Because that ain't meant
Okay.
for characters.
well, it's taking a decade because Xbox sucks at making games.
Well, going from a racing game to fucking open world RPG is like going from go-kart racer to a fucking F-16 fighter.
It don't
Hey,
matter.
but
They're still developers.
we saw
No, they
Gorilla
ain't the
go from
fucking
first person
same.
shooter to action RPG. It's not an RPG.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think they'll be day and date in the future. I don't think they're gonna be waiting, but we will see, man. We will see. Brett, what do you have to say about that? Anything?
Uh, I I don't want to agree, but like I kind of agree.
Well, I
The
mean,
only reason why I kind of find it hard to believe is there's no I just don't find there being any way that they haven't been working on them side by side. And then like a lot of people want to bring up like, oh, well they're extending it for the pro. There's motherfucking studios bringing out updates for the pro for their games like it's nothing, right? Like so why would they need a year to possibly because nobody knows if it's really going to release next year, but why would they need that much time to just like, are they really not making it for PlayStation as we speak? Like, is that what was going on the whole time? Like,
Well,
I
they
don't
when
know.
they bought Bethesda, they said stop the PlayStation versions of everything,
yeah.
and then now they're changing their minds. So they got to get fucking people up to speed. They just got dev kits in a couple years ago, and yeah,
Which is
you
fucking
gotta
stupid because you had dev kits, then you sent them
yeah
back, and now you got them. Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
Yeah,
they
it's
said in court fucking whatever we would Sony said we don't want them to have our dev kits. Motherfucker, they already had your dev kits. They were already porting
Exactly,
shit.
and
bro.
plus it's easier to develop for PlayStation anyways. I mean, that was one of
Yeah,
the main points.
it's been said.
All right, well, moving
Bro,
on.
fucking calm, Guzzler, bro. What the
The
fuck are you doing?
so the other topic that I wanted to talk about, and I think we'll end it with this one, is the difference between releases in March, February, and May. Because, like I mentioned earlier, I said that February was a light month in releases, and then Nelson disagreed. We got into a little bit of conversation, but I have the games pulled up here, and you guys decide. And my whole argument with this is I feel like they should have released more games in February and not as many in March, because I think that's really going to fuck up a lot of developers, especially with the list of games that are coming out. So, to give you guys an example, I'm just gonna go over the big games, right? Because there's a lot of fucking shovelware and a lot of small games. But the biggest games that came out in February are Monster Hunter Wilds, which came out February 28th, last day of February. We had 2K PGA Tour 2K25, which came out the day before, which was
Number 4 on in the US right now, too, by
uh,
the way.
February 27th. Then we had Yakuza Pirate Yakuza, which came out February. What's the freaking date here?
You fucking bitch.
February 20th. And that's because they pushed it back a week early, so they got out the way for Monster Hunter Wilds. And then the other, or the two more big games. The next one is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which came out February 4th. And then the last one, which I'm included in here, but it is Sid Meier's Civilization 7, which obviously is more of a PC centric kind of game, but it still came out on console. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that came out in February. We had basically one early February, two mid February, and two late February. Now in March, let me pull that list out. We have WWE 2K25. We have MLB The Show. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows. We have Bleach Rebirth Souls. We also have Killing Floor. We have Kazam. We have Atom Fall. So as you can tell already, there's already 2, 3 more games that are coming out on in March, and that's not even including the smaller games. Smaller games example would be hold up, Mimic, Age of Mythology, where that already came out. Did it come out already? Yeah,
Well,
no,
Assassin's
that
Creed
comes
was
out.
already supposed to come out, but they wanted to get the fuck away from Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so Age of Mythology, what is it? Onimusha, Oh, that's May.
Which
Capcom Fighting Collection 2. So you have a lot more Carmen San Diego, AI Limit. Um, so those are
banger,
games that are going to be coming. Oh, the other one that I'm getting day one, the Midnight Walk. So wait, that's May. I don't
banger.
know where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck my
yeah.
list is all fucked
I
up.
remember we
But
talked about that after that showcase.
oh yeah, PSVR 2 and standard. So in March, not only do you have about 6, 7 freaking big AAA games, but you also have a boatload of AA games and indie games that are of notoriety, right? And then in April, we have Forza, we have no, that's May, Days Gone remaster, which I'm getting day one when I get a $10 upgrade, and that's about it for May. Or I'm sorry, April. May is where we have the big ones: Lost Soul Aside, Night Rain, Elden Ring, Doom, right? So we have from now till May huge bangers, and that's not including Metal Gear Solid that's coming out in August. That's not including Hell is Us, which is coming out in September. Expedition 33 also comes out in April. So as you can tell, the last quarter or the last half of the first half of the year is super jam packed. So, question to you guys is looking at all the games that are coming out between January and May, do you guys think that they loaded up the last half of the first half? So, basically April, May. Do you think they jam packed those with too many games and they should have released that pressure by releasing some more in February and January? And two, out of those games that I mentioned or games that you are aware of, which ones are you looking most forward to? Henry, we'll start with you.
Okay. Um, I'll just list. I'll list three of them off top. I'm hyped for AI Limit. I'm hyped for First Berserker Kazan. I'm hyped for Hell is Us, and I'm also hyped for. I don't know if you mentioned it. I don't. Blaze of Fire.
I did
Hyped for that
mention it.
too. Okay. So those four were I'm really hyped for. Um, Secondly, I'm not sure. Should they have released some more games? Some of these games earlier. Yeah, probably so. But I really feel as though people were, because initially, you were supposed to this month we were supposed to have, well, this past month we were supposed to have Monster Hunter World. We're supposed to have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and we're supposed to have
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed
Creed.
Shatter. I feel like a lot of those smaller games were just getting out the fucking way, and thus pile themselves into the next few months. And reason why though they did that, and it would have been beneficiary to kind of spread themselves out, because if you were looking forward to any of these games, you were still gonna buy those games even alongside those bigger games. It would have just been you gonna buy two games a month. Even though the statistic is the average game only buys three a month, it's still another statistic is
Three now, like one
that
and a half a year.
I thought it was three a year.
No,
Oh well,
no, it's
shit.
less than two.
Well, fuck what I'm saying. But I'm gonna still continue my thought, and you can just how you
Not to
say.
mention Monster Hunter World when he had Assassin's Creed in there, and then Monster Hunter World and Kingdom Come. Those are like $100 to $200 games too.
Yeah.
How the hell
Well,
are you
you
gonna
can.
buy three of them in a month?
I'll just finish. I meant three a year. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So, and you can just push back when you speak about it. I'm gonna just kind of get my thought out. Not that I disagree with what you're saying, but I feel as though, let's say, I'm looking forward to either Kingdom Come Deliverance, Monster Hunter, or um, what was the other third big third game?
AI
Oh,
Limit.
Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed. No, no, Assassin's Creed, because they was all supposed to drop in the same month initially. I would still buy one of those and a smaller game. I just would wait a little bit longer before I buy another game. You know, but on the second half, what I was saying is them moving from this month into the next month. yeah, it piles into your March and your April and your May, but at the same time, they are the smaller games. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like most people aren't gonna buy all of them anyway. Number two, it's a large genre covered amongst all of those games because they're not all action adventure games. They're not all puzzle games. They're not all, shooting games. It's a wide spread of all genres because you got your Midnight Walk, which is your VR capable and also kind of like a platform from what I've seen. You also got your Bleach, which is a fighting game. You also got your it's another fighting game too. So that's two. That's two fighting games, of course. But
Capcom.
most people, I mean, you don't really get fighting games super often. So, and they be on the cheaper side sometimes. So you gonna get the two fighting games, obviously, because I'm gonna get that Bleach game. But just because I'm a Bleach fan, you know what I mean? And your AI limit, your first Berserker Kazan, they're like niche styles of game because if From Software ain't attached to those games more often than not, or if Osmongold don't fucking play it on stream, most people ain't gonna pick them games up anyway. So I don't, I just don't think it's I don't think it's unless you're a person like where you just you beating the game every 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So you got a appetite that's kind of insatiable when it comes to games.
Well, that's the
So
argument, right? Because even somebody like me, I'm not gonna buy, even though I want to play all those games I mentioned, I'm not gonna buy all the games. I'm gonna be waiting because I'm not gonna have the time. So even if we go to the extreme with somebody like me who beats a shit ton of games and is constantly playing, or even if we include all of us in here, because we all play a shit ton of games. I mean, look at Brett, 48 hours in fucking Monster Hunter over the weekend, right? Look at Nelson, fucking Banishers, 99 out, 98 hours or whatever he said.
99.
So
He
like
got
we're
100 in that bitch. He just was trying to keep. He was just trying to be coy. He got
I
100
probably.
was
hours in
trying to
that
find
bitch.
everything, but I gave up after some things I looked for hours, dude. I was like, fuck this, I'm moving on.
So and shout out to War. I forgot Split Fiction, which comes out this Thursday, which I got pre-ordered and I'm picking up from Best Buy day one. But even somebody like me who plays all these games and buys a lot of games on top of it, I'm not gonna be buying that. So I made the decision of which games I'm gonna be buying. Split Fiction is the game I'm buying day one. The other game I'm buying is Atom Fall, and the third game that I'll be buying maybe is Killing Floor. And that's it. Everything else is gonna have to fucking wait till
I'm
it's on
interested in
sale
that
or I
game.
free
I
up.
never played a Killing Floor before.
So it's like that's why I'm saying that these games should have been pushed to earlier in the year because if you are even the hardcore who do buy a lot of games and play a lot of games, even somebody like me is not going to be able to get to all of them. I mean, just in March alone, there's like 7 fucking big bangers that we've been talking about and fucking waiting on for a couple years, right? But Brett,
Hmm.
what do you think? Should they have moved some of these games a little bit earlier? I mean, we're talking about weeks, guys. We're talking about 6 weeks early, so it's not like this is gonna fuck up your development cycle. This is not like it's gonna screw you up. You know what I'm saying? Assassin's Creed thinks that they're the big boy, on the block and they're gonna be able to push everybody out the way. But there's a lot of people talking
Nah,
about
they
these
ran
other
from Monster
games.
Hunter, dude. They knew better.
So
Monster Hunter was gonna fucking hunt their ass.
they could have done well. Monster Hunter was gonna kill everybody, but they could have done it in January instead. But Brett, what do you think? What do you think about the timing of these games and which out of all these games, which ones are you looking forward to the most?
So I think a lot of it has to do with, believe it or not, GTA releasing this year. I think a lot of
Mm.
Mm,
these, I think a lot of these games are trying to not fall anywhere near where that game could drop. The game that I'm probably the most excited for, believe it or not, is South of Midnight, and the reason why is
that's another one. I
the
forgot the Xbox
whole
side.
like I get like this whole New Orleans like vibe to the game. I've never been there, but like if you know anything, like New Orleans is kind of like a place of its own in America. You know what I'm saying? The voice acting sounds spot on. The whole like folklore vibe that they have going
That's
on.
why
It's
I was
just
looking forward to that game too, because
yeah,
it encapsulates the South, and I'm
yep,
from the goddamn South.
exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. And so that's literally the reason why I'm like super super excited for that game, honestly. It seems like they like you said, they represent the South in a very good way, honestly. Like
So,
it looks awesome.
so you think basically because they're just trying to get out the way from GTA, but mind you, they still have. I mean, we don't have a GTA day, so they technically have
I think that bitch getting pushed here, bro.
8 months at least till GTA does come out, meaning or September. They have 9 months from the start of 2025 till about September, right? They have all
Yep.
this time to fill in before GTA is gonna come out, right? Because GTA can make an announcement tomorrow when the game's going to come out, but we all know that right now, so far this year, based on historical fact or things that have happened historically, if they're going to announce the game for this year, they have to do it like within the time that we're in now, right? So if it's going to come out at the end of the
Yeah.
year, we usually hear about it before summertime. Anything more than that generally falls into the next year. So we know that these games are generally safe, right? At least
Yep.
from September before. So that's my whole argument. It's like, man, you guys are stacking a lot of fucking games. We're not even the hardcore gamer who buys a lot of fucking games. They're just not going to get to your shit. And I wouldn't want to be in that position. I also don't want to go up against GTA, but fuck, you have 9 months of the year to fuck around with. Nelson, what do
And
you
with
think about it? Or I'm sorry, Brett, you still got more to say?
Yeah, just one more thing. And like this is why like I feel like right now is probably like the best time to be like an Xbox gamer because we started off with Avowed in February. And then March we have what X no we have Adam Fall this month. Then next month we have Expedition 33 and something else, and we have another game coming to Game Pass. So from February all the way to May, Xbox has like a AAA style game coming every single month, with April having two games, one in the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. And I think that's
Isn't
awesome.
it in March that Xbox only has like 2 games overall, not even AAA games, just 2 games in general that are coming out that month? Isn't it like a light
Well,
month?
March. So February. This last month was about. This month I think is Adam Fall. Adam Fall comes out this month, right?
Adam fall this month, I think.
Yeah. So that's on Game Pass day one. Then April we have Expedition 33 at the end of the month, and then the beginning of the month is something else, and then South of Midnight I think is May,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good time to be an Xbox gamer because you kind of have, and the good thing is they're all like different genres of games kind of coming out. So it's gonna be refreshing as an Xbox gamer for sure.
Yeah.
Expedition looks cold.
It
Nelson, what
looks
about
Bro,
you?
so
I'm
good.
fucking with it, bro.
Expedition looks good as shit.
That shit
God,
look heat.
I'm being real picky with what I buy this year. I got like a dozen games just from last year I haven't finished yet, and that's not even including shit I bought on sale that was from other years recently. Like I'm really because I'm gonna be working on my deck this year, and I need money, so I'm being what do you call it,
Oh,
thrifty
you
this year.
building a fucking deck, nigga?
Nah, I gotta take out a bunch of wood and sand it all and buy tools. It's gonna be a long process and
Good
inexpensive.
thing you ain't going with that fucking composite bullshit.
Nah, but I
Nelson,
gotta replace a lot of stuff. It's gonna get expensive. So
anything else you want to add to the topic of, should the games been stretched out a little bit more? And then what are your games that you're looking forward to
nah,
the most?
February was pretty good considering you had like some of the biggest games of the year, and nothing usually comes out hardly at all in January, February because no one spends money in January and
But
February.
but actually, the last 3 years, every single February has been packed.
Well, you had Helldivers. No, that was March, wasn't it?
That was February. Rebirth was February. We've had the last three Februaries have been really, really, they've been hitting. It's like, I saw the argument as well, like what you just said. I'm like, nah, man, y'all need to go back and check out your history the last 4 years, because the early part of the year, I mean, even last year, what's that game, Blue Relink?
Great Blue Fantasy. That was a
Grand
big deal. A
Blue
lot
Even
of
Fire.
even that came out in
that was a
January.
big game.
So, the early part of the year, it's just there's so
That was
many games
February
that there really isn't,
29th. Leap year last
before
year.
it used to be that the summertime was the slow month in gaming. Well, now we're in the era where there is no slow month in gaming. Every single month, there's going to be some big game coming out. So it's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on. And then last thing I want to talk about before we head out for the evening is a conversation that we were actually, or that I brought up in our Discord, which I brought up two games that we saw about 3-4 years ago, and we haven't really heard anything since. One of them is Aftermath, and the other one is Pragmata. So
Don't piss me off.
I found this article on Game Rant. And for those of you guys that are new, remember, I've been at the hospital. I've been busy, so I haven't had time to really think about topics. So I just Googled a whole bunch of articles. So I'm going to go ahead and read this last one from Game Rant. And it is, PlayStation fans are wanting updates on games that were announced years ago. And Pragmata is the main one on the cover. Some outspoken PlayStation fans have recently been talking Little Nightmares, not Little Nightmares, Little Devil Inside. I already told you about that. I already told you about that, Henry. Some outspoken PlayStation fans have recently been taking to social media to question what's happening with a few games, including Pragmata, that were announced years ago, but are yet to show clear signs of nearing release. Their concerns highlight the often unpredictable nature of game development, both within and beyond the PlayStation ecosystem. Pragmata is a sci-fi action adventure with horror undertones that Capcom announced back in June 2020. You know what's crazy about Pragmata is that they take so fucking long that Bluebird's about to come out with another fucking sci-fi action adventure that has horror undertones in it. So they're missing the boat with this one. Back in 2020, on that occasion, the Japanese gaming giant said that Pragmata was targeting a 2022 release. Nearly 5 years and two major Pragmata delays later, the project still seems nowhere close to materializing. Disappointed with this fate of affairs, some PlayStation fans have recently publicly questioned what's happening with the long-awaited title. The trend started with Reddit user DelayConnect335 asking for a status update on Pragmata, a game that they say has been on their wish list since 2020. Me too, and I had to take it out because my wish list was getting full. The question amassed thousands of upvotes and promptly emerged on the front page of the PlayStation subreddit in late February 2025, suggesting that many other Sony console owners will also like to know what's happening with Pragmata. So real quick, this is not part of the article, but motherfucker, another vindication happening here live right now on the fucking show on the State of Gaming podcast with the boy Henry, Brett, and Nelson. Something I've been fucking saying, and people fucking dismiss the fuck out of me when I say this shit. Fucking say, oh, nothing's gonna fucking change. It doesn't fucking matter. Fuck off. We are all individuals that have a fucking voice. And shout out to DelayConnect335 for asking for a status update on Pragmata, a game that they say hasn't been their wish list since 2020. The question amassed thousands of upvotes and promptly emerged on the front page of PlayStation subreddit. So when I fucking tell you guys to go ahead and voice your fucking concerns, this is why. All it takes for the one person to fucking retweet your shit, hear your shit, and now your shit gets elevated to the next fucking tier. That's all.
Elevated to the point of being on State of Fucking Game.
On State of Fucking Game, absolutely. On the subreddit, thousands of fucking people. You think that these developers aren't fucking... Like, we know that developers on social media. We know this. We talk to them. We DM them. We have them on these podcasts. We interview them. They like our shit. We like their shit. What's to say that one of these motherfuckers on a Sunday evening will listen to the State of Game podcast, which they're not, but I'm just using this as an example. It's like, you know what? You're fucking right. This department next to us, we haven't heard shit. You know what? Tomorrow's Monday, which, by the way, Mondays is when a lot of fucking meetings happen. First day back at work, a lot of meetings to talk about the week. I'm going to bring it up. Next thing you know, you have the director of your game that you're working. I'm like, hey, boss, real quick, what's up with Pragmata? You know what?
Told us.
You know what, Dev?
It's on hiatus. Meaning it's fucking dead.
Nelson, no. We cooking right now. We cooking.
Dev
All
X.
right, well, they told us 2 years ago, though, so.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. This game was supposed to come out 5 fucking years ago. Hey, Dev X.
Hiatus means we're not making this shit. Goddamn, take the hit.
They never told us it was hiatus. They just said it's going to be fucking delayed until further notice.
That means they ain't making the bitch.
We will bring it up in the director's meeting. And then this shit gets brought up, and who the fuck knows? Even if all we get is just a fucking answer, like, "Hey guys, we're still working on it," or "We're not working on it," or we at least get a fucking answer. But that's probably the best case scenario of what can happen. So speak up when we have these fucking concerns. Speak the fuck up, especially some of you guys that got thousands of followers on fucking Twitter. Like you have X amount of developers following you. I even saw one of our well, friend. I don't think you guys know him, who's getting followed by a fucking publisher, a major publisher. And it's like, bro, speak up. Anyways, let's continue with this shit so we can end this show. The question of Mass Style since 2025,
Excuse
okay.
me.
What happened to Pragmata? Delay Connect 335 question prompted some people to remember Little Devil Inside, another PlayStation
Bruh, why
title
you
that's
laughing?
been in,
Why are you laughing?
because I think about the time. I know how you feel about it. And dude, hey, Henry, I went through the ups and downs you're going through right now, like 2 years ago when I found out about their history and why this game ain't probably never gonna come out. But another PlayStation title that's been in the works for many a year. Originally announced through successful Kickstarter campaign that raised the equivalent of $190,000, the action RPG has been rebooted several times since its April 2015 reveal. Developer Neostream Interactive broke its year-long silence on Little Devil Inside back in early 24 when it shared 6 minutes of gameplay footage and acknowledged fan frustration with its lack of development updates. We've not forgotten, the studio said at the time, albeit without committing to a concrete release window. Game development cycles are getting longer. While both Pragmata and Little Devil Inside seem to be facing development difficulties, their challenges are also reflective of macro industry trends. Game development cycles that Game development cycles have been getting longer for a while now, particularly since the onset of the 2020 pandemic. Increased fan expectations and higher technical demand are some of the factors contributing to this trend, as are increased technology specific challenges. Apart from the PlayStation console, Little Devil Inside and Pragmata were also previously confirmed for the Series XS and PC. Additionally, Little Devil Inside was announced for the Nintendo Switch as of March 2025. Pragmata appears to be in greater trouble as nearly 2 years have passed since Capcom provided any kind of update on the project. The latest bit of Pragmata related news also wasn't particularly encouraging, merely announcing an infinite delay. So, well, I know we were talking about Pragmata. We also talked about Aftermath, which is another like Apocalypse. It's that chick with the bald head. But this was happening before basically all the woke shit became mainstream, so nobody thought any different. But that looked interesting to me. The music, the trailer was pretty fire. But man, what do you guys think about these fucking games that not get announced, right? Because there's a difference between a post that, hey, say we're working on this game, or a tweet. But both of these games have been part of a major state of play, a showcase, or something like that. What do you guys think about publishers like Sony, Xbox, Nintendo allowing these developers to showcase their game on a showcase when it is nowhere near being finished and when the possibility of the game being delayed infinitely? What do you guys think about that? Should they change it? Brett, we'll start with you this time.
I don't really have a dog in this fight because Xbox, I mean,
You
as an Xbox
motherfucker.
gamer, we're well known for this type of bullshit. Uh,
Yeah, still waiting on the console launch games that we've seen
you know what I'm
6 years
saying? So,
ago.
I mean, it's definitely shitty, especially
Speaking of
when
which, where the hell's Replaced? It's supposed to come
Huh?
out in 2021,
It got
Yeah,
delayed
2022.
again.
it's. I mean, the worst thing ever is like when it's a game that like they show you and you're like, holy fuck, dude, that looks awesome. I
I
want to play that.
That's the one game I really did want to play on Xbox.
You
Yeah,
know,
I want that. I want that.
it, there's never a reason for it to be okay at the end of the day on some real shit. Like, I mean, if you're gonna put the game on standby, let us know ASAP. But still, like, keep us updated. Is don't go like a year, 2 years without saying anything. Like a tweet to say, "Hey guys, just want you to know, like, we didn't forget about you. The game isn't dead." You know, just like small little updates here and there, just to give like people hope that it's not done for. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep us
Hmm.
updated a little bit. We don't need gameplay or anything but just let us know that you're still alive and the game is still like Silk. What is it? Silk Song? Is that what it's called? Those
Yeah.
Yeah, six.
motherfuckers. People have been waiting forever, but those fuckers are like, dude, it's coming out, guys. Guys, we want you to know the game is still coming out. It's really coming out. Like, why can't they do that? You know?
Agreed. What about you, Henry? What do you think about this?
Oh goodness gracious, my boy. You know, I'm gonna be tame, but I'm gonna start with Devil Inside. You know, I like my indie style games. I like. That's what I like. That's my forte. You know, and they showed us this game. They had the visuals really spoke to me because I like that look. It wasn't necessarily a pop up book like Tales of Iron, but it was still a kind of it's still in that vein, you know. And then it also had like a Monster Hunter kind of mechanic to where you hunting these monsters and then you going back to the town and you know it was super interesting. And if this game had a whatever year the game come out, it's gonna be my game of the year regardless. But at the same time you show us the game, we see gameplay, we see all this stuff, and then you just go silent and we don't hear shit. You know, it pisses me off because it makes me feel like you playing games, and I don't like them games. It's like you're playing in my face. Like
Hmm.
it isn't coming, or if it's canceled, just say it's canceled. Just let me know it's canceled. Just say it, and then they pop up. Oh yeah, it's still coming, etc., etc., and they show some more fucking gameplay, and we ain't heard shit since
Yeah.
and I'm pissed. I'm fucking pissed. And then as far as Prag fucking matter, they actually finally show some actual fucking gameplay, like 10, 15 seconds worth. After the fucking gameplay, these cum guzzlers tell us the bitch is delayed.
Yeah, yeah, that pissed me off
So
too.
what the fuck going on? Cause Capcom, you're not poor, you're not broke, you got developers, you making all this fucking money. Why in fuck we ain't got no news about this fucking game? You done made bukus of money off of Monster Hunter. You done made bukus of money off of Dragon's Dogma. Why in fuck we still ain't got no information about this fucking Pragmata game? And I'm looking forward to this fucking game. I want to play this fucking game. Then these fucking bitches. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt so much if they didn't show us the game. If they didn't finally show us the gameplay, right?
So then that
They
goes into my
finally.
question: should PlayStation, Xbox, change their way of when and how they show these games?
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, that's what I've been arguing with you about before. We need to see the game with like
Well,
18 months,
look,
dude.
well, it's hit. That's really my thing because my thing is at the end of the day, I can't play news, and we shit on EA all the time.
I know
But
Xbox has always got a great show, but I've been seeing the same games for fucking 6 years.
when
Facts.
we
It's so
look
annoying.
at the window between when they showed us Wild Hearts versus when Wild Hearts first came fuck out. It was It was in the year, if I'm not mistaken, when they first showed us Wild Hearts. When they showed us that one game, what's the one Magic first person shooter game with the chick from Firefly, the black chick from Firefly. You played the fucking game, Will.
Firefly.
It was a first person shooter, but it was Magic. It was from EA.
Oh, Forspoken. Oh, wait, from EA.
Nah, yeah.
Uh, it starts with an I think. Not Illuminati.
What the fuck is that game
Yeah, it
called,
had the
bro?
famous dude. It had the chick from.
It had a bunch of famous motherfuckers in that
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah, yeah. Here, I'm gonna look at my
Super
collection.
super high production value. And when I'm gonna talk while you find it, but they showed us that fucking game within a year that bitch came out.
Immortals of
I like
Avium.
that bitch right there.
Fucking
I
awesome
like
game.
I like that window. I like that window because you're not waiting long. You're not worrying about no fucking delays and all this type of other fucking fuckery. Capcom then went out here, dangle the stake in front of our faces. Oh, boom, delayed. Little devil inside, all this fucking fuckery. Like, fuckers, is the game coming or not, bro? That's end of the day. They spoke too early. Don't tell me about no fucking game
Well,
unless
that's a good point, Henry. Let me say this real quick. Sorry to cut you off, but I think that if you're gonna fucking announce your game that early, then you should also have the responsibility of keeping consistent updates. That's just if there's got to be a give and take here. If you're gonna announce your game fucking at a point where you're not even sure when you're gonna be done with the game, then there has to be a responsibility where you say, hey, you know what? And on top of this, we're gonna keep you guys updated every 6 months, every year, every 2 weeks. I don't fucking care. Just give us an update because they do it every year with their money, right? With their financials. They don't fucking miss that shit.
facts.
right? They let their
Right.
investors know, hey, every fucking whatever February or whatever, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the financials, where we're at, where we're heading, so we can you can invest in us. Well, guess what? Who's the biggest investor in all this shit? We are. We're the
Hmm.
fucking biggest investors. Don't matter if you only sell 100,000 games, 50,000 games, a million games. Don't fucking matter. We're the ones spending the money to buy your shit. So why the fuck aren't you treating us like investors? You should be. And look, there's a separate side to this because we're not talking about, you know, uh, alerting casuals to the game. Like, look at the gameplay. And no, that's promotion. That's marketing. Where we're talking about is investment. Why should I keep your fucking game on my wish list? Why should I fucking keep your game on the back of my mind as a game that I'm gonna buy? Like, you got to give us the fucking news. Sorry to cut you off there, Henry.
Oh no, because I was gonna tell him what I'm saying. It's just, and to be honest, it further not reinforces my attitude of I don't want to know about a game so early because when you show me a game that tickles my fancies and then I don't get to play the game for an extended amount of time, it gives me a certain level of distrust inside the industry, right? Because look, for example, Little Devil Inside, this is an indie level fucking game. You know what I mean? Tales of Iron 1 done came out. Tales of Iron 2 done came out. Into Lilies 1 done came out. Into Magnolia 2 done came out. You know what I mean? It's in the same realm of these, and though Little Devil Inside is probably a tad bit more expensive, we still ain't even got the first motherfucker in this whole time, bruh. We still
You know,
ain't got the first one.
And the
can I say
industry
something?
is, yeah, go ahead, Brett.
I like everything Will's saying, and kind of what I'm getting out of it is like an Elder Scrolls 6 kind of thing, right? Where they show Elder Scrolls fucking 30 years ago, Elder Scrolls 6, and everyone's so excited, like, holy fuck. But there comes a point in time where enough time passes and you're just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. And I think that's where some people might be getting with these two games that you're talking about. Like the excitement's there and you try to maintain it, and then it comes to a certain point where it's like, dude, it's been so fucking long. I don't even care anymore. I
Yes.
completely forgot the fucking game was even a thing, you
Mm-hmm.
Which is
know?
hurting them
Mm-hmm.
in the long run because now when
Yeah.
you talk about day one sales and pre-orders, you're gonna be like, I'll just get it whenever. I'm more interested in the shit that I knew about, that I learned about 6 months ago, that is coming out this month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry's already secretive as is, right? I mean, and I
Yeah.
understand why they have to be secretive, right? Because video games, it's not like a fucking movie. A movie, it takes 6 months to film, maybe even a year. It's a 2 hour fucking thing, and they move on to the next one. Video games, we're talking about years and years and years of work. So to screw that up, that's huge. Not just time wise, but resources. So I understand why they have to be a little bit secretive, and they should be, right? Because we all love when we turn on the showcase and they announce something that we had no idea was going to come on, right? A lot of us take it to the point where we just shut social media off for the week. If PlayStation says, hey, today's Tuesday, there's going to be a state of play on Thursday, a lot of us avoid social media, right? But we just like, fuck it, we don't want to see it, we don't want to hear no rumors because we want to get that excitement. But
Yeah.
dragging it on, all you're doing is fucking cock teasing for a long time. You're gonna get blue balls. You're gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck the fat bitch who is the fat bitch being Ubisoft, who is putting out games yearly. And you know what? I'll stick
Yeah.
to the two or three things that they do well that I really like, and just ignore the other bullshit that they do. Like, look at me right now. I wasn't even I said I'm not gonna buy Assassin's Creed. If I do buy, it's gonna be secondhand. Right now, I'm contemplating it if I should even get the fucking game. Like, I saw some gameplay. I saw that one, the Black Samurai dude, where he fucking was fighting and blocked and then kicked the other dude through a fucking door. I'm like,
Yes.
bro, that shit looks dope. So I'm like, damn. I'm
Yeah.
like, am I gonna get this? Like, I don't know. So we'll see what happens in March this month when it comes out, because there's a lot of shit coming out too. But it piqued my interest. You know what I'm saying? It's got me more interested than I was even last month. But something like Pragmata, like you guys said, it caught our attentions right away. Little Devil Inside caught our attention right away. And mind you, Henry, we came late to the party because this game's been announced since 2015. So
Yeah.
we came
Yeah.
late. Imagine how
Yeah.
those dudes feel who were part of the $190,000 that were part of the Kickstarter, who seen this game get fucking redone 3 or 4 times. Who, how do you think they feel now, 10 years later?
And
But
that's not a fucking 10-year game, bro. That's not a
Mm-mm.
fucking 10-year developed game.
If that game
Yeah,
lasts more than 8-10 hours, it surprised the fuck out of me.
bro?
Well, it
Because
sounds like they
what?
rebooted it because a lot of the staff quit or whatever.
I would have quit too. Quit that bitch too.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Because you gotta
Well, fuck
think,
you wouldn't think it, but fucking what's the game Brett's excited for? Catfish
South
game,
of Midnight.
South of
South of
Midnight. That
Midnight.
studio's last game was fucking almost 9 years ago.
Oh,
That little ass
let's
game.
go. Let's go. That's awesome.
Yes.
Good for them.
Whoa, check this out. Warwana
What's
says
up?
that the dev studio is 2 streets away from his wife's work. He is
Don't fucking
legit
knock on the
tempted.
door.
For what
Yeah.
game?
War, what
For
are
what
you
game?
doing? Go knock
Yeah,
over
go
there,
get
bro.
Yeah, bro. Go over
Go
there.
Go.
get us a.
Yeah, bro.
Go bring
Throw
some
They
my
actually have a
in that bitch.
studio.
go bring some donuts and fucking be like, hey guys, I'm your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? No, he's talking about Brett, what's the name of the game that you brought up?
South of Midnight.
No, the other one that's taking forever, but they keep updating saying this
Oh,
game is still
Elden Scrolls.
no, not Elden Scrolls, the other one, the indie one. Silk Song.
Oh,
Silk
Silk Song.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
think that's the game War One is talking about because I'm pretty sure Silk Song is an Australian developer, right, Wara? Yeah, he did. War confirmed it.
Yeah, War. Well, take them folks some kangaroo burgers, man. See what's
Um,
going on.
War One also says Game Logic IQ justified the ES6 announcement by saying something like Todd Howard had to announce ES6, so everyone stopped asking him. So that's weak as yeah, no.
That's so weak, bro. Now people are going to be asking. Now people are asking more than ever. Like
Yeah.
you showed us something back in like 2018, like
Yeah.
was the last time we really saw anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's no need for that. I don't give a fuck who. And this is me as an Xbox guy. There is no fucking need for that from any studio. And that's one reason, believe it or not, I genuinely like the PlayStation showcases on some real shit because I feel
like 'em too.
I feel like most of the games that they're showing are releasing within that year. Like, yeah, this year's Xbox was great because like a lot of the games are releasing, but like Nelson said, it's been the same 5 fucking games they've been showing us for the last 3 showcases. That's unacceptable in every fucking fashion.
2019 and 2020.
Like insanity. Insanity.
And also the responding to Warwana, he says, I disagree with him respectfully on Brap the other day. I don't think we need roadmaps personally, but I think we need to stop having 5-year out announcements. So I
Mhm.
agree and disagree at the same time. The reason I agree is because you're right. We don't need the 5-year announcement shit. Also, roadmaps are fucking stupid. But then I disagree because roadmaps actually are important only if you're fucking consistent. If you're consistent in dropping, like for example, if Ubisoft came out with a roadmap of games they're going to be dropping over the next 2 years, I would take them serious because they drop fucking games all the fucking time. Every year they drop 2 to 4 games. So they're consistent with their shit. So if they say, hey, in January we're gonna drop this, then in April, May we're gonna drop this other one, then we're gonna do DLCs for this, and these are the dates, I'm gonna pay attention because I know they're gonna fucking do it. But everybody else, these roadmaps are fucking bullshit, and what they're doing is they're implanting false hope in fucking gamers. Like y'all hear me complain about PlayStation all the time that they're dragging their feet with games, right? Because they're my favorite types of games. I think that PlayStation makes the most polished, the most diverse, the most everything types of games, and I love them. So the fact that they take a long time to make these games pisses me off because that's like only eating a steak a couple times a year. It's like, no, I want to eat it more often, right? But that's a me thing. Also, I game a lot. So you combine the two of where I'm gaming a lot, I beat a lot of games. Then on top of that, I'm only getting 1 game review a year if I'm lucky, maybe 2. Like, come on, what the fuck? But then if I really didn't care too much for PlayStation first party games where I wasn't like head over heels over them like I am, then I would be fine. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, there's way too many games for me to play. I don't care when PlayStation puts out another fucking game. But that's not me, because that's the reason why I game.
That Skull and Bones was supposed to come out in 2018.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. Well, I got it for $10, like 3 months after.
Bro, I got that bitch. I got that bitch for $10. I kept it
Yeah,
for 2 weeks sealed. I traded that bitch in.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that was supposed to come out in 2018.
I'll say
That's supposed to be a quadruple A game.
I'll say this: I don't like roadmaps personally, just because, like you said, like 9 out of 10 studios, they don't even fucking follow them. So like a roadmap.
Nah.
My thing is I would like you to announce a game when you have at least some pre-alpha footage to show us that
Yeah.
you're at. I don't want a fucking 5 second. Oh, let me go from a camera, zoom all the way out until it says Elder Scroll 6. Don't give me
Mm-hmm.
that shit. I don't
Mm-hmm.
fucking want that. Give me something to prove, to show me that you're really working on this.
Yeah.
Like pre-alpha footage, combat, something. Like give us fucking something. Like
Even movies where they're only, filmed 6 months to a year, sometimes less. Even movies, they do how many fucking trailers before release date?
that's what I'm saying.
3.
3 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Video games, how many you get? 2. If they're a super popular
yeah,
game, like what the fuck? They should be doing a
yep.
fucking trailer, especially if it's within a year out. They should be doing a trailer every fucking couple months, minimum. Every
I
couple months.
agree.
And you show something different every time. Like, bro, you got fucking 10, 15, 20, 30 hours of gameplay. And you're telling me you can only give me 2 trailers that are fucking a minute 50 each? What the fuck is
And
Yeah,
then
that?
keep in mind, all these fucking developers, they got fucking YouTube channels, bro. They all
Exactly.
got fucking YouTube channels. They can drop a fucking dev diary every fucking 2 weeks. And if
Mm-hmm.
some shit done happen to hang up development, just say, hey, some shit done happen. You feel what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? We'll understand, especially if it's a game we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like we look forward to Hell is Us.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I see a little notification. They done uploaded the video. Cause I'm on that
yeah,
bitch right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So they all got X accounts or Blue Sky or whatever the fuck. They all got YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's no reason why they should be as silent as they are when it comes to games they've announced. Not only announced, because they show gameplay for Pragmata, they show gameplay for Little Devil Inside. There's no
Yep.
fucking reason as to why they should be as silent as they are when they've shown as much as they've shown.
And there's
Other than the
Yeah.
numerous
fact
more,
that,
bro. There's so many more
oh
games
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah, it's numerous more.
Man.
It's new
That
and
that's
it's
why
ridiculous.
that's why like yeah, this is a game that was already out, but like you look at a game like The Division, which I think it was The Division 2 is when they started doing like these weekly talks where they would go on their YouTube channel and they would just talk about what they're working on with development, what's going to be
Uh huh.
coming out in the next update, shit like that. I appreciate even like Diablo 4 when they do the campfire talks. It kind of makes you feel like you're involved in the in what they're working on. You know what I'm saying? Because they tell you what they're working on, so you have a better you feel more involved, you feel more important to the studio, in my
Brett,
opinion, when they do stuff like that.
Brett, what's the name of the live service game that you downloaded after the showcase, like 1993, where the dude with the rhino head is in the cover? It's a
The
live service
Rhino Head?
shooter. Yeah, it's got like a pointy on the head. It's a live shooter game. And it just did a DLC. It's like 1995 or something like that, or 1993.
Oh, Warframe.
Yeah,
Warframe. Warframe
Warframe,
is a
Warframe,
great
1999.
fucking example of what updates does for your game.
Yes.
There's really no marketing for that fucking game, but it's got one of the biggest player counts. Why? Because every week the game director and a couple other people get in front of the fucking camera and give you updates of what they're fixing, the bugs, even stupid shit like bugs and, just little shit that they came across. They sit there and they update you. They have a chat with you for 20, 30, 45 minutes. And we're not talking about no
Yeah.
lackey. We're not talking about the
Yeah.
janitor. No, these
Yeah.
are the CEO, game directors, the people that actually make decisions for the game. And what do?
Yeah.
They read the chat, they conversate with their gamers because they know this is the bread and butter right fucking here.
Yeah.
Why is it
That's
so hard for these people to do that?
Yep, just you look at them. You will never see them at any of
Event, no nothing.
the showcases. Why? Because they do their own TennoCon every single year. That is extremely fucking popular, dude. I'm talking thousands upon thousands of people tune in. But you could buy tickets where you don't even have to go to the fucking thing, and they give you in-game rewards and shit for just purchasing the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like companies like that you have to appreciate. Like free to play games like this don't survive often. They don't. But this game's been doing it right for how long now, and they're still going, and constant updates. The game is constantly changing. They're adding
Yep.
new, fresh things. Why? Why is it that we see these AAA studios giving us the same rinse and repeat style games with a different fucking number on it? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
And then
what
they
the fuck is
wonder.
going on here?
Then they wonder why their games fail. They wonder why, it's like, bro, like I think it was Warwana who said this actually, where he's like, yeah, why don't you just play test the fucking game, fix it, and then put it out? Like that makes total sense for a live service game to me. I mean, look at not the Pathless, the damn that one
Path of
Diablo
Exile?
Path of Exile. Yes,
Yeah.
look at how they fucking did
Yeah.
it, and look how successful they were on console.
Yeah.
So many good examples, but I want to keep dragging this conversation out. Nelson, anything you had to say about what we were just talking about, bro?
Nah, but I was recently talking to a developer, and we were talking about this, and he goes, "Look, y'all need to start. I'm just gonna let you know, if it's more than 18 months out, what you're seeing isn't fucking real, anyways. It's not real.
I mean, makes sense, right? I mean, we kind of makes sense to
It's
us.
what we think it's gonna be look like, because if we show you a game 2 or 3 outs, it's a random shit on the computer.
Well, bro,
There's no game. It's all a
Nelson,
lie.
you remember for the God of War 2018 documentary with Corey, where they spent I don't know how many months. I think it was like 3
That's
months.
why they don't like showing shit early. They had to spend 3 months fucking polishing that one area of the game because
just getting a vertical slice ready.
yeah.
So
That's why they don't like to do those shows. They waste 3 months on that shit.
now imagine, right? They take 3 months just to do the vertical slice for the showcase. Now imagine, just the rest of the game, right? The complete fucking game. So why the fuck, if you walk in and you basically, let's say there's 10 steps to making a game, and step number 10 is publishing the game and it's out and gamers are playing it. Why the fuck are you announcing it where you're below a 5 or even a 6? Like why?
Yep.
There's no fucking reason, bro. Why are we gonna start celebrating a birthday the day after my birthday? Like my birthday was Friday. Let's go start celebrating my next birthday Saturday. It makes no fucking sense. But you know what does make sense is my birthday's Friday and it's Tuesday. Hey, let me start getting shit ready. Hey, we're meeting up for dinner. We're doing this. Wednesday, confirming. Thursday, getting your outfit ready. Fucking Friday, you ready to fucking rock out with your cock out. You know what I mean? But that's all I got for y'all today, man.
Yeah, I wish Wolverine would have been announced till like this year, to be honest with you. But like, I thought about getting an Xbox over PlayStation first at the beginning of the year, because I was like, man, PlayStation killed it, and fucking Xbox haven't done anything in 12 years. They're gonna have the better first 2 years. They got all these games, whatever. And the games I thought were gonna come out in 2021 and 2022, they're still waiting for them to come out.
War One says also let's use the reasoning.
What was it, Fable I wanted, and then Perfect Dark, and what was the other one?
War One says also
Gears, something else.
let's use a recent example too, Avowed. Now, I don't have an opinion on the final game except for the original vision clearly changed over the years. Go check. Yes, it was way more gritty. It was darker. That's what got a lot of people excited for Avowed. Now, Brett finished it. Brett loved it. Me, I haven't been back to it. If it comes to PlayStation, I'll buy it when it's on sale because I prefer gaming on the controller. But yeah, it's another great example. Game starts out completely fucking different vibe. It comes out, it's completely fucked. But there y'all have.
Yeah, remember that first Halo Infinite trailer?
Mm-hmm.
The fucking rhinos.
That one too.
One thing I'll say about Avowed is as you play Avowed, you could tell that the vision from multiplayer to single player, they weren't given enough time to do it. Just based on like the skills and how everything works, you could tell there's still a lot of co-op implementation into the game that is kind of fucking useless on some real shit. I'm not kidding. You really could.
No,
like
I can
the
tell.
Ability to read
Yeah, I heard all the
teammates makes no
decisions and
sense.
shit that like there's you don't even need it.
You don't need it. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, but like War One says here, he says we know that Microsoft pushes games to be inclusive and for everyone. I'm not saying the game is bad or good, but it clearly got adjusted.
That's
from
actually why
ownership.
they bought him, was the pitch on that multiplayer Avowed game.
Yeah. So I mean, they got away with one.
That's what they pitched to them for the purchase.
Well, and I talk a lot of shit about games, and especially like with Brett, like with Monster Hunter, like the game sucks ass. Like I just been getting on Brett's nerve, and Brett should have realized it when I'm trying to say knock knock jokes that aren't even funny, and it's just to say Monster
Yep.
Hunter's ass. But but some games I do talk shit about, and it's not that the game itself is bad. It's just that I play so many games, guys. Like last year, I played 300, and I think PlayStation said I did 348 games. Like I play so many games. So when you come at me with an average game that's been talked about for a long time, that we've seen it for years and we saw the potential to what you put out, it's a disappointment. Especially when there's games like Prey that I haven't played up until this week that I just beat it. You know what I'm saying? There's other games like that that we know are bangers and are classics, or even games that I did beat, but they're just so good I want to go back to. It's hard to pull me away from that to continue to play a game that is extremely fucking mediocre. And at the same time, they won. It doesn't matter if I played for an hour or if I beat the game. They won because they got my money, they got my attention, even if it's just for a little bit. In Xbox case, they got me to push A or X on the controller, and that counts as a user. So they already won. So that's why I'm also on the other side of let's speak up when shit like this happens. Let's fucking be vocal about it because at the bare minimum, we at least have that power within ourselves. And like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, all it takes is for the right person to see something, to say something, to share something for it to get somewhere else. But that's all I got for
Yeah.
y'all today, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me get a couple quick outros to these gentlemen who truly, truly deserve it. I thought that I was gonna be here and Nelson was just gonna hate me the whole time, but we had Henry Heck and Brett to save the day. So let's start with Henry. Please let
Oh
the
yeah,
people know
Project Mara. That was the other one I thought I might like.
what's that. Project Bar, what's that?
Something that probably ain't coming. Ninja Theory announced it back like about the same time as Hellboy too. So
Mm.
about 10 years
Dude,
Oh
ago.
shit.
that the Hellblade, the first trailer we got back in 19, dude, was such a fucking okey doke. Like they got my ass, bro. Like I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna be fighting fucking giants. Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
man,
coming soon, like right after launch. Right after
man. They
fucking
got my
VGen.
ass, bro. Mr. Henry Heck, it's your boy, the boy Henry Heck. Where
Yes,
can people find you at,
sir.
bro?
You find me at Henry Heck. That's it. Henry Heck on X. It's just Henry. I try to keep up with Will 777 JP upload schedule, uploading at least one a day. But he crushed me today. He put out like 3 videos a
I
day.
did.
But I try to put out at least one a day. I recently put out a review video for Tales of Iron 2
Dope
on
video too, by the way. It's an opinion video,
on
but
the
it's dope.
yep on the PS Portal. So check that out. And tomorrow I'm planning to drop a Horizon video. In light of what's the conversation that went on today, is Horizon an RPG? So
It's an ARPG.
I'm gonna put out a video about that tomorrow, and I'm gonna kind of do a Horizon versus The Witcher because they say The Witcher 3 is RPG, but they say Horizon ain't an RPG. So I'm gonna, kind of put some thoughts out together for that, and that's just what's coming next. That's coming
Well,
tomorrow, and
question for you, Henry. While you make this video, maybe something to think about. Is it an RPG if it feels like an RPG, even though it doesn't have RPG mechanics in it? Just a question. Like I know World One hates me when I
listen.
said that games, feel like Souls games, even though they're not Souls games. But I consider just because they're difficult to shit that it's a Souls game, even though I'm using it incorrectly and incorrectly terminology because it goes, a Souls game. It's has so many things that make it that. You know what I mean? It's not just a superficial. It's hard, but for easement of conversation, if I tell you, hey, it's a Souls like, you understand that right away.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a
and I
maybe a
think it's gonna make for a decent conversation piece because some people have a really narrow view of what an RPG is. You know what I mean?
true. I'm gonna be watching.
Because
That sounds interesting.
yeah, check it out because technically, Souls games are RPGs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Thank you.
So
You're
so
right.
so people and also Tales of Iron is listed as an RPG. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yep.
feel like people have a narrow view of what an RPG is, and they
Question:
so
RPG stands for role playing game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So technically, aren't all games RPGs because you're playing a
Yeah.
role?
Well, people, it's a little differentiation that people put in there because technically, let's say you're playing a hack and slash game. Technically, you role playing as the character. You if you play Ninja Gaiden,
Yeah.
technically your role playing is Hayabusa. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ryu Hayabusa. I forget his name. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's
But
Ryu Hayabusa.
people differentiate that. Do you got skill trees? Do you got side quests? Can you fucking fish? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Can you upgrade your?
Yo, can you
Can you?
fucking
Can you
fish?
hunt?
Yeah. Can you upgrade your gear?
Like collecting
You know what I'm saying?
resources, upgrading gears. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a good ass video. I'm excited.
exactly, bro. So and to be honest, it's not even really an honest conversation to be had because and the only reason I really want to talk about it is because they put Witcher 3 versus Horizon, and people love to shit on Horizon on the internet. They just
They
love to do
do,
it.
even though it sold
Why
like
But
though?
a cajillion copies.
I don't know why.
I think it's a fun game.
I don't get it. I
It is.
don't get it. But what really interested me was because they put and they are super similar. Horizon is super similar to The Witcher 3. Super similar. So I think this is gonna make for an awesome springboard conversation. And that's what I'm gonna put forth tomorrow. Not to take up too much time because I got other folk to get to, but yeah, that's what I got coming tomorrow. Head over to the channel, head over to the X, head over to the Fuse, you know, game and social media. And that's all I got. Catch y'all
Bet
in the next one.
money. Mr. Brett, let the people know where they can find you if you want them to know. It's up to you.
You can find me in the Discord.
True.
You can find me in the Discord, or I don't really do socials that much, just because it's too much negativity. But yeah, I mean, if I'm always in the Discord, I'm always chit chatting in there. If you ever want to talk Xbox, just come in there. I'm the guy for that because I'm the Xbot. But yeah, yeah, in the Discord, that's about it. Playing video games. That's it.
Bet. Hey, just to defend Brett a little bit, yes, he's really the only bot, but there's a lot of ponies in there too, man. So don't get it twisted. We got both sides there. I don't think we got any Nintendo people. Do we have any Nintendo people that are hard? No, we don't have any hardcore Nintendo people.
I don't think so.
PC. I mean, like Wara plays both, right? He plays like PlayStation
Yeah,
and
Warplay,
PC.
both of them.
But yeah, no like hardcore. And last but not least, Mr. Nelson Gaming Culture. Where can people find you besides here on Sunday evenings?
Nelson Gaming 12.
Nelson, go check Nelson out, man. Dude puts gameplay videos up every single week. He at least has one or two up there, and they're fun games. A lot of Helldiver, a lot of the like he did what Power Rangers last. So go check him out over there, man. If you want to see some straight up gameplay, he's the man to do it. Otherwise, you guys know me. You're at my channel right now. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. The channel has been, I mean, I've been on average like 60 subscribers per month that I've been growing. So
Yes,
it's been
sir.
insane, man. I know that I'm putting in a lot of work and I'm putting a lot of videos, but it's because I love gaming and I have a lot of shit to say. So I appreciate all the support. All you guys that watch the videos don't necessarily listen to the podcast. Guys that listen to the podcast don't necessarily watch the videos. But as I mentioned, and Nelson has mentioned before, we created this space so anybody can join us. We had Cyber join us, even though it was on accident because he thought we were just chatting. But we had Brett come in. I didn't say anything to Brett. I didn't say anything to Henry, except that the floor is open whenever you guys want to come in. The invitation goes out to you guys as well. So if you ever want to hop on here on a Sunday night or a Tuesday, which, oh, by the way, this Tuesday, me and RPG88 will not be having a Just Playing because we are going to save it for Thursday for the release of Split Fiction. We're going to stream that game day one,
Ooh,
and we're going to stream it till
ooh.
the lights go out. Literally, we're going to stream it till about 9, 10 o'clock at night because that's when RPG goes to bed. So from probably around 5, 6 o'clock uh, Thursday night, as soon as I get off work, I already told my son yesterday that, hey, buddy, get what you want for dinner because I'm buying dinner. I ain't cooking, so I can just get the food, get home, take my shower, and immediately get on the game. During lunch, I'm gonna go pick up the game, and I'm gonna drop it off at home, eat lunch with my son, and go to work and just count down the minutes till I get off work to play Split Fiction, and that's what we'll do for the rest of the evening. So come check us out
Far
Thursday for that Split
Cry.
Fiction day one gameplay. And of course, I'll probably be playing with Nelson as well. I know Nelson wants to play it, so there'll be numerous Plick Fiction videos that will be out there. But besides that, thank y'all so much for being here tonight, man. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that the channel has gotten. And man, we're about 154 subscribers away from that 500 mark. We are
Succulent number.
we are 654 subscribers for me to officially join the YouTube partner program, where my videos can get put out in rotation, get commercials, and I can actually get some kickback from that. So I need to be at 1,000
Paper.
subscribers. I also need to have, I think it's 3,000 hours viewed. And there's one more category, which I'm super close in all of them. Well, I already got my I'm like 20% away from my hours viewed. I also need to post a certain amount of videos, and there's some criterias, but I'm like 80% of the way there. So you guys have been incredible, man. So thank you. And as always, hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. If you have any comments, suggestions, complaints, and then we'll catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.
Right on. Right on.